And with that, the Auroraverse finally returns, as it is time, my friends, for Greed of Garthanon. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream today. My name is Sensei Suplex, and today, as usual, I'm out of sync. So let me fix it. Hiya! Hiya! There we go. How's it going, everybody? Hope you guys are ready for an awesome and epic stream today, as it is time for the return of the Soul Sagas. This is Greed of Garthanon, the 3-session mini-series, as this is session 2. So if you haven't watched session 1, be sure to go check that out, either after the likes of this game, or maybe just go check it out, and all that sort of stuff, as it is a friggin' awesome beginning to a grand old adventure in the likes of the Forbidden Expanse desert setting of Project Aurora. Now, a couple of announcements, not too many, as we're going to try to hurry up and get into the game. Number one, if you haven't done so, be sure to apply to the likes of Project Aurora DMs, or like Dungeon Master application if you want to be a DM for PA. Be sure to actually apply to the Lore Keeper application, as that just went live very, very recently, earlier today in the morning. And also, last but not least, we did drop the likes of the deadlines for all the applications and more. I think player applications, they're not ending till like the 17th, but Dungeon Master and Lore Keeper applications, those are ending on the 8th. So please, please, please get your applications in. Do not forget it. If you have a Dungeon Master that you think would be a great fit, or a Lore Keeper, or if you're like a really, really organized person and you would enjoy being able to make World Anvil articles and be able to sort of be under the likes of Project Aurora and really, really see exactly what's happening on the back end and more, go ahead, go join. All that sort of stuff. If you wonder what I'm looking over at, I'm looking at my dog. They're looking over, and I might have to put them in the cage, but they're just kind of like looking around, just trying to sniff around. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, Winter? What are you doing? Wait, no, God damn it. What do you want? Come on. I know you want to be on stream. Yep, come on. There you go. But besides that, be sure to do what you need to do, and yeah, we'll get started in just 1 second. That's all the announcements I really got, though. All likes, all members, all subscriptions, super chats, all that stuff. That's going to be appreciated, but we're going to be thanking that at the end of the stream, as I always got to prioritize the players and their enjoyment. So I'm not going to be like, cutting into like descriptions and stuff like that just to thank you guys. It is appreciated, but I'm going to just thank it at the end of the game. So that said, thank you all again for watching, and let's do this. Oh, we're also going to fix up face cams in a bit. But yeah.
Money paying.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go. We are live onto the internet and such. I'm getting everything set up and all that sort of craziness. Yeah, there we go. We got face cams, easy as pie. So, everybody, you guys ready for some D&D or D&D?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Oh yes. And also, hey, guess what, guys? You get to use you get to have your own very personal theme song for your intro and all that stuff. As everybody gets their intro this week, because it's session 2. So I actually get to recap the sessions rather than, just more so introducing you and immersing you into the likes of the setting and all that stuff, right? So let me get this sort of set up over off to the side, and hopefully we'll get this going. Now, I will say Bardbot's been acting a little weird and funky recently. For some reason, they're just not a happy camper. So, as usual, if Bardbot ever decides to poop out on itself, then I'm just going to take all the tracks. I'm going to just throw them into the in-game content. You can just play them over there yourselves. And then, just loop them and everything. But just trying to give you guys a heads up and more. Yeah, bots and stuff in Discord, they've been acting a little wacky for the past couple months for sure. All right, so without further ado, let's see if this thing wants to work. All right, Terry Bot, I believe in you. All or nothing. Heart of the cards. Come on. There we go. So, if I can have each and every one of you all gather around the table, and let me tell you all a Voden fable. To gather around for the tale of these band of adventurers. For this is a tale of wealth and a tale of one's greed. This is the tale to see what one would do to hoard it all to themselves. With that, this, my friends, is the infamous tale of Greed of Garthanon. We'd begin our tale a story as the human warlock Aaron had heard of the Sandy Deer Tavern and its mysteries before, but he'd never have a chance to visit it himself. Arriving at the tavern, he'd soon spot a familiar face in Nell, a gnome artificer he hadn't seen in years, if not possibly cycles. He found them as they were gambling with card games in the corner as the two began to catch up on old times. But two other individuals had also entered the tavern. The first being a hobgoblin blood hunter by the name of Bushi, and their companion, a mothfolk sorcerer named Chet. They were searching for work, and however, they was immediately upon noticing how fast these strange individuals began appearing in an even stranger daze, their eyes turning a strange astral hue before their memories were erased once more. The corruption, an otherworldly and astral force had taken over this tavern and possessed individuals, transforming them into astral monsters, attempting to kill our heroes. But despite the odds, our heroes managed to take down all the enemies, but they weren't done yet. An astral light enveloping them, they were transported and almost thrown into this strange time flux. Here they would find themselves face to face with Councilman Ahriman, an undead individual with a powerful soul within. It explained that this tavern and all of its inhabitants were stuck in said time flux, sentenced to damnation. He'd offer theirs, or at least our heroes, a chance to save everyone if they could get a specific gem from a nearby mine to allow him to power up the likes of his dunamancy magic, freeing these individuals. But our heroes would agree to the task, and the adventurers were transported to the desert wasteland known as the Forbidden Expanse. Now, our adventure truly begins. But the corruption is afoot, and our heroes are getting ready to journey on. It's not certain whether they will live to tell the tale or even remember it. We'll have to see what they're exactly made of in Session 2 of Greed of Garthanon. With that, my friends, let's pick back up exactly where we began where we left off last time. I'm gonna drop or grab you guys over here. So you guys should be loading into the likes of the game in 2 seconds. Nope, not that one. There we go. This one. So, in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wrong button. There we go. You guys should be loading in. Is anybody not loading in? Let me know.
We're good. It's taking a while. Oh, there it goes.
I'm good on my end.
Good.
Oh, good stuff, good stuff. All right, now, the next test. Let's see if TerryBot actually wants to work, and we're going to start playing the likes of the playlist. And again, if it doesn't, then I'm just going to link it to you guys. And I know some people actually prefer that they play it on their own end. So just in case, I'm going to drop you guys the soundtrack anyways. And you can deal with it over there. So you can find it in game content chat. There it is. All right. Come on, Terry. I believe in you. There we go. So, as we pick back up exactly where we left off, you all look over and eventually the sort of swirling bits of magic around you begins to slowly dissipate. You look around and you don't see Councilman Ahriman anywhere, as he was the individual transporting you to this adventure. But regardless, you look around and you see the rocky and arid mountainside looming ominously above you. The land ahead is parched and barren, and the air is still and almost oppressive. You get a sense of dread as you notice far above a sort of flock of vultures circling around the area, and eventually their eyesight looking down upon you. As this is said, you look over and you can at least hear their cries piercing through the desert air, echoing and multiplying off these rocky peaks, as up ahead you notice as there's bits of sand, almost like in a waterfall sort of motion, sand just pouring down onto the ground and almost filling up this area ever so slightly. Nothing to worry about in the least bit, but enough to sort of gain your knowledge or your sight. But Regardless, you look ahead with your newfound and unlikely crew. Some of you knowing each other, but the others not so much, more so knowing each other by circumstance, rather. So, it's up to you guys on what you want to do, but you do know your destination is ahead. Whether you guys want to sort of introduce yourselves or figure out what the heck, or who the heck you guys are traveling with, or you want to push on, the floor is yours. Let's start off with, Nell. What would you kind of imagine your character sort of doing, as the sort of magic is beginning to dissipate amongst the area?
Probably first thing he's doing is just letting out all of the stress that he just had within the last 10 minutes of fighting, meeting a council member, and then everything just sinking into the sand and just sitting down for a while. Just have a short rest.
Easy enough. As you kind of plop yourself down into the sand and more, immediately you're greeted with the familiar sort of nature of it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's, well, nice and pleasant, but it's okay for now. Definitely okay for now. What are the rest of you guys sort of doing while Nell begins to plop down, trying to rest a little bit?
More of a utilitarian answer, but Chet is going to cast Mage Armor.
Fair enough. As you sort of do so, you look over and you're like, yep, let's just prepare ourselves just in case. Immediately casting over sort of your entire sort of body begins to become engulfed in these strange infernal flames. With that, I will adjust your AC and I'll get you set up.
Sounds good.
Alright, so Mage Armor, your base AC becomes 13. I believe so, yeah. So it is now 20.
13.
Yeah, so your AC is now 20. Alrighty. Yours, or you're set up, or I'll be setting it up in the background. But while you're casting that, or Chet, you look over and what, Aaron or Bushi, which one of you are doing anything right now?
I'll walk over to Nell and kind of nudge him with my calf, kind of just like understandingly, while just staring off into the valley in front of us, or the gorge in front of us. And as I do that, my eyes glow slightly, and across my body this mixture of mechanical and organic and magical movement appears just below the surface of my skin. Small blue lines, small arrangements of dragon scales, and I now have also cast Mage Armor.
Easy enough. Alright, Mage Armor is added to you. I'm gonna get you set up as well. Alright, there you go.
She begins to walk forward slowly. Whenever you're all ready, we have a job to do.
Oh, I haven't forgotten.
Yeah, that's...
He doesn't seem
Plan.
impatient. He just seems to, that's the most he provides in this moment, as far as discussion.
Probably first things first, and he, as he's getting kind of his stuff together, trying to put everything together, he pulls out this sack, and if any of you know what a bag of holding is, he pulls it out. As he pulls it out, with us getting rejuvenated, would I have been able to switch out an infusion?
Probably not, because it's more so something based. Infusions are more so based off of like actual time, rather. It's more so like he was able to bring you back to like your current little bit of energy and all that sort of stuff. So you wouldn't be able to change it, but you can do it now if more so if you want to take a rest. But it's up to you and your party.
If you guys want to, before you would have cast the Mage Armor, I would have wanted to switch out to just guess our bearings and look at the lay of the land. Before casting that, just above table. If you guys want to wait just a sec, I can get us some tools and get ready for the battle ahead. I wasn't prepared for any of this. And as you kind of look, he does not look like he was ready for battle. He's like, not nice clothes, but comfortable clothes. Like almost little to no armor.
Fair enough.
I have no objections.
It might seem inconvenient, but this is a man who has engineered some of the greatest conflicts, who has been an engineer for some of the greatest conflicts across the cycles. It might be wise.
Not to say you butter me up too much. I'm not that bad. Good. Past, maybe yes. Now, just scrounging for scraps. And as he begins to get his infusions rearranged a bit so that he has a bag of holding, and he puts on his armor as he does that, some light leather armor.
As that sort of happens, you'll see just a random Hanu just sort of playing a bongo off to the side. No, I'm kidding. That was what we said. No, I'm messing with you. But as this is sort of said, you guys are all preparing in your own way, shape, or form. You guys can kind of feel it is a breeze in the likes of the Expanse, but I need a couple of you guys to make a perception check for me, please.
Perception.
I'm going to add guidance to that.
Sure, go for it.
Ugh.
Alright. So, 10, 16, 19, 12. Alright, so 12, 10, 16. So, I'd say probably Nell and Bushi. So, Bushi, you look over and you can kind of see as there is the typical sort of floating islands that are kind of scattered about the likes of the or Forbidden Expanse and more. One thing that you look over and notice is that a strange bit of purple light begins to start forming over it, almost as if it's like electricity, similar to Aaron's for a second, but it's not blue, it's purple or pinkish. And as it does so, you just see or hear a sort of, and within seconds, one of the floating islands from afar. Now, this is about a mile out or so, but you can still see the explosion as the entire island begins to start breaking into pieces. You see as all of them begin to start crashing down one after another. Now you look over and you kind of notice this, and after about a minute or so, not too long really, eventually you see as the floating island begins to start reforming, as well as it begins to start reforming, you're sort of walking by, you're taking a couple of steps, and some strange reason, you feel lighter. Like, not as dense for some reason. It's not more so super noticeable or anything like that, but it's noticeable to you, at least in this case, in this scenario. You're moving, it doesn't take as much effort to do so. But Bushi, you're able to see the island. Nell, you're able to see the island and the likes of feeling that little bit of strange lightness to you.
He kind of chuckles to himself. Those don't get old.
Bushi's just like, oh, he's just staring up at it. I don't think he's ever seen anything like this. So just staring off to the side. For those that didn't notice, they probably noticed Bushi staring up and off at it.
Hear the little chuckle and look up, and I'm just look down, sitting along the wall, nod my head, and continue looking onto the mission.
I'm probably going to be doing this a lot more, but would I be able to make a history check on that?
Sure. Make a history
Just
check.
out of my
Yeah.
base knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm going to add guidance to it as well. I'm going to keep doing that.
Go for it. I like explaining lore.
Yeah.
But apparently Nell don't want no lore. That's a natural 3, but it is an 11 plus I rolled twice. That's fine. I'm gonna take the first one, which is a 2.
Well, I have a plus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you get the bonus thing
Scribe.
from no. Or yeah.
Yeah.
So 15. That's actually pretty good then when you tag everything along together. So with the 15, what you are able to know is that the floating islands of Voden, sure, they are. It's another sort of anomaly that makes this place weird and strange, but it's not without reason. One thing that you know more than anybody, Nell, is that though Voden is strange, almost nothing is without reason. Whether it's God's doing or a person's doing, whether it be culture, something. This happens to fall in the realm of the cultural sort of thing. In the likes of Voden or just in Aurora in general, there are individuals known as oculi. People who have forged deals with devils of the sorts, or at least that maybe their clan ancestors have forged deals with devils, granting them powers, that reside with ocular sight. Specifically, this floating island was probably made by one of the oculi clans, specifically one that dealt with the likes of psionics, if you will. Now, you don't know the name of them, with a 15, but you do know at least why it was created or how it was sort of created, as they probably use psionics to sort of piece together the island itself. Why it explodes? More so because people aren't watching over them again or over the islands anymore, and no one's there to watch it. No one's able to stop it. A sad reality of after or post corruption war. So, no, if you want, you can feel free to explain that information. And also, the map is live, so if you guys can move wherever you wish, and I'll tell you if you guys see anything. But there is a small corridor that is kind of allowing you guys to get through. Other than that, you'd have to fly up or climb up to get past this little rocky area for sure.
I think he'd, as he's doing his little tinkering stuff, he'd probably mention that and ramble on. Just telling everybody about little known facts that he knows.
Ever the historian.
How steep is this rock side here?
Let's say, and is it open at the top?
It's open. Is it open at the top? Yes. It's very, very big, despite what the map sort of suggests. It would probably come out about around 40-ish feet tall. It is massive, my friends. But there is an easy way to sort of walk through over here if you want. If you want to climb over it, trying to see how steep it is, you can. It's easy enough to do, but it will take maybe an athletics check or two. For those of you with flight like Chet, you could probably just fly up above it if you really want to.
I'll
I fly up and check it out, or
I'll try acrobatics my way up to the top of the top of it.
Sure.
I'd like to walk along the top of the corridor.
Describe exactly how you're kind of using your acrobatics to try to get up here. What are you trying to do to sort of use acrobatics rather than athletics?
Let's see. Being more of a dexterous build, more nimble. I'm not going to look for the straight paths. I'm going to look for the small ledges, the small crevices that I could just get a handhold on before either leaping or running alongside of a wall a step or two to the next foot and or handhold. Instead of just muscling my way up to the top, I'm just going to find the little zigzaggy routes that gradually get me there.
As you do, you sort of start climbing up. You begin to jump over towards the right, jumping over towards the left, and you jump over after about 30 seconds of climbing, trying to get to the very, very top of it. Aaron, make an acrobatics check, all or nothing.
Let's go. Acrobatics. 9. And then I can add a D4 to that.
All right, go for it. 14, not bad. It's a little bit of struggle. It's not pretty, but it is effective. That's all we can ask for. As you begin to climb up to the likes of this area, you look over the path, or pretty much into the vast desert, and up ahead you can see as more and more of those vultures are kind of plaguing the area. And make a perception check for me though.
perception. There it is.
So 14, good stuff. You look around and you can kind of see as it's not too many people, for as far as you're aware, that are here, but one person, one figure in particular, you do notice off to the side. You notice as there's somebody over here that's kind of just sort of sitting down, not really doing anything in particular, more so just waiting and watching, not necessarily like looking at you, but more so just looking at the sands, looking at the ruins and more, and they're just waiting for something. But this is the individual that you would see.
Don't like to look at that.
Regardless, that's what you would look over and find.
Alrighty, as they travel into the corridor, I'm gonna keep on walking around the top. Figure spells probably be a little bit easier from there.
I do want to say. Where's him?
Sorry, Bushi begins to walk forward.
No, you're good.
Once he kind of looks up and sees that someone had already started up the wall, and when he sees Aaron up there, he just nods and then begins to walk forward, and he says, "Very well, let's not waste any more time."
I do want to say as we go through, it'd probably be best to introduce each other, know each other's strengths. To introduce ourselves, I am now Nabat, historian and engineer. I am very sorry for dragging you into what happened at the tavern. We were a bit rash there. Could have done it better, but kind of put us on edge.
The name is Chet of Fireside. Sorcerer and amateur fencer.
I do a bit of fencing myself. Well, probably not as well as you, but I have my moments. And you? Points over at Bushi.
They call me Bushi. I'm a wanderer, a sword for hire.
Pleasure to meet you. And he kind of looks over up at Aaron. And this is a old friend of mine, Aaron, and Arxis. They're a bit much for
Arxis?
newcomers.
I only see one of them.
Yeah, that's kind of their whole thing. Once he gets back, once he gets down here, he can probably introduce himself and explain his whole situation if he so chooses.
I'm just staring into the distance, but eyes locked on this person figure.
Enough. Actually, I'm gonna roll a perception check to see if they know, if they actually notice you. Perception. 12. It might be. You might notice as they're kind of looking over and trying to squint a little bit. They're not entirely sure what it is, and they're definitely concerned, but more so because they can't tell what you are or who you are, rather than anything. They're not like hostile or sort of like raising up anything in an antagonistic fashion. It's more of just curiosity, rather. They kind of look over, not even necessarily knowing if you can see them, and they kind of just wave over.
I wave back, curiosity now striking me as well.
As you kind of wave back, you can at least see their shoulders begin to go a little more relaxed and such, and they kind of just take, they kind of motion you over and eventually begin to sort of take back their original seat.
I echo down into the gorge. We're being beckoned.
Well, I do prefer a parlay to a pipe.
Very true. He's going to climb up onto Direct's shoulders like a child on a parent.
Easy enough. You guys can kind of just keep moving your characters and such. I'll do something in the background. As you're kind of like walking over and approaching, definitely those with claustrophobia, it's not the happiest of situations for you, but it's not a long one, as eventually you begin to emerge out from the sort of opposite side. And if everyone could you guys make perception checks for me once more? And you guys can keep moving your tokens and such, but while this is sort of happening, you'll see as the woman will look over and call out and begin to say, "Ah, yes, travelers and such. Here. And they kind of keep motioning and beckoning for you over. With that 5, that 8, 9, 16. Not much from pretty much any of you guys.
Oh, damn. Here I was thinking finally I rolled a decent perception.
I am so sorry. But one thing that I will give you a little bit, Aaron, is that you do notice as this individual, definitely a mage from what you can easily tell, they have a sort of staff of the, or a staff that looks to have that little strange python or snake-like figure attached to it. You do notice as it is, or the snake part, it is actually a moving and more, but it doesn't seem to be actively doing much of anything. Past that, you would notice as she seems to have a very, very much pale face, but piercing through it, you can see as she has some green eyes and, or at least one set of green eyes, and the other one is more so just brown. You could tell easily that no roll needed from any of you guys. You could easily tell that this woman is an oculi of the sorts, but you're not sure what clan she is from.
Alrighty.
Hello!
Yes, hello. I'm not expecting to see really much of anybody else out here. Here, you all look, oh my goodness. Seems like the sand wasn't really too pleasant for you. Here, come. You see as she begins to start looking around as if, trying to sort of almost perform a bit of hospitalities and such, despite being in these ruins. Looks over and says, here, are you all well? Did you need anything? What, oh my gosh. What even brings you here? To a place like this, I could only imagine.
We're here to investigate this takeover from what's been known as called the devil himself.
She looks over and immediately has a sort of look of realization and begins to say, "Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I've been hearing a lot of stories and rumors from a couple of the a couple of my friends here. And you'll see as individuals, they're more so looking over, and you'll see emerging, Aaron, out from the likes of the sand. Another individual begins to slowly emerge, and other individuals who are kind of hiding because they're not entirely sure who the hell you guys are. Realistically, they look over and they eventually begin to appear. You'll see as one individual begins to slowly start forming outside of the entrance and more, and a couple other individuals begin to start moving and such to see you guys. They're not necessarily holding their weapons, but their weapon or their hands are on their weapons because they don't 100% trust you. Regardless.
Bushi's hand goes down to the hilt of his blade as well.
I prepare a little ball of shock, getting ready to Eldritch Blast at the first sign of trouble.
Fair enough. As this happens, they can kind of see you sort of conjuring like a spell. They're like, "Oh, no. No. Please, we can all be cordial here. And such. I'll tell you what.
I would prefer that.
I'll tell you what, you all look tired and such. Here, would you care to join me for a meal? We were actually getting ready to sort of take a lunch break anyways. Come. We can stop our sort of hostilities. And she kind of looks, she's saying that last part to more so the two individuals, the Wastelanders, down below. So they look over, look at one another, look towards her, and eventually calm down a little bit. What do you guys do, though?
Can I do like an insight test or something to see if if this looks at all like it's like a ruse on her part or
Yeah, sure. Make a insight check for me.
Can we all take that insight check?
Yeah, if you want.
I'll probably talk up to her and say, if memory serves me right, I believe this was supposed to be a mine. This doesn't appear to be a mine too well. It looks like ruins.
No. This is, yes, yes and no. This is the entrance to the mines, or at least more so a way to said mines, but, they're a little bit of ways past this little area and such. We weren't necessarily looking for them or anything like that. We were more so trying to look in this sort of investigate this strange sort of area. As you can probably guess and understand from our sort of aesthetic, we're more so, and they'll look over at her before I kind of groan and begin to let her continue. And she says, we're more so scavengers, explorers. You know how it is with the Forbidden Expanse and such. Resources are very, very much thinning, but we were able to find a cache of resources a little while ago, and we have an abundance of stuff. We'd be willing to share as long as you all would be, well, as friendly as I'm trying to be myself.
I see no point in a fight. We're reasonable people. And hopefully...
It's not. Well, this is sort of happening. Chet, 17, you're coming with me into the likes of the Secrets channel.
Okay.
We'll be right back. Alright. Chet, so what you would get for the likes of your insight check, so nothing super alarming, but you're able to at least pick up on this. When they're sort of mentioning the whole thing about sort of scavengers and all that sort of stuff, right? You look over towards the other, more so the other individuals that are kind of listening to her, and they're more of like, hey, you're kind of telling a little bit too much of our stuff and information. What are you doing here? Or what are you doing kind of deal? Stop that. They don't necessarily, these individuals, they don't necessarily seem inclined to more so be as friendly, rather, compared to her. But they're listening to her regardless right now. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Gotcha.
I got you.
Full a natural 20, I could get like a 30. So yeah.
Exactly. Like,
And we back. Alrighty. So, while this is sort of happening, they're looking over, since you said you have your action kind of prepared, if you're sort of conjuring that little bit of electricity, they're kind of looking at you more so saying like, hey, yo, kind of like stop that. So then we can, have a conversation, right? Until then, they're not going to really drop their guard, right? It's rough. It is definitely rough.
Nell's gonna look over. I prefer if you come down here and talk civilly. Though I'd like to see how you get down from there. Now that you got up there. What's your plan?
Oh.
Bush is just gonna look over at his allies and see what they're doing, see if there's any change, specifically because he's right next to his partner Chet.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any change in Chet right now, or is he kind of still look like he's at ease?
Oh, Chet, what? How are you right now?
That seems a little apprehensive, but not openly hostile.
Okay. I think Bush will keep his guard up, but he's not exactly trusting the scenario, but he's not, pulling his sword either.
I grab a pitten out of my, or whatever the heck it's called, a little pitten, whatever, out of my bag, and just hold it in my hand, almost dagger style. And using my feet to find any footholds, I just quickly scuffle down the rock.
As you're sort
with
of
the
pitten
with the pitten on the rock to keep myself close to the wall.
As you're sort of doing that, from your perception check from earlier with that 16, You look over towards some of the vultures and such as you're going down, and you do see something strange about them. Nothing too crazy or alarming, but they do have these sort of satchels tied to the likes of their legs. Not all of them, but a handful of them.
Satchels, huh?
Yeah, just small leather pouches and such. But while this is sort of happening, you'll see as the individual begin to speak and say, "Oh, my bad. You can. Oh my gosh, it's so strange seeing new people and such." You'll see as she'll begin to look over and say, "My name is Aria. Pleasure to meet you. Here." You'll see as she kind of just drops down. And when she does so, it's with definitely a bit of grace. You can see as the wind and air beneath her begins to slowly grace her as she doesn't necessarily take any falling damage, but to drop down and begin to say, why don't we just have a bit of food and such, and we can even sort of do one of my favorite pastimes. I like to do a good riddle to sort of keep the likes of sort of the brain sharp and such. Here. And you'll see as she begins to start gathering a couple things out of the likes of her bag and such, and starts setting stuff up, just trying to be as hospitable as possible to you individuals who very much look scary as hell. But she'll set this stuff down. You'll see she has a couple of breads and cheeses and all that sort of stuff. And she says, come, join me.
Her name was Aria?
Aria.
Aria.
She will step forward.
That will do the same.
As she does so, you'll see as she begins to sit down, and you'll see as she'll start taking a bite out of the bread and such, and she'll look over and say, so, what exactly brings you over here?
As we said, we're here to clear out the devil himself.
What's, is this, sort of contracted bit of work, or? I didn't even expect people would, or even going to deal with anything, regarding that.
There's some people interested in a rumor about this from a while back, and decided, hey, why not? Might as well check it out after all this time.
I see.
As you can imagine, dual interests are involved.
You seem familiar with the topic. He says, you seem familiar with the topic.
Not really, or not too thoroughly. I just know of it because, well, we were heading over in the area and it was said to be very, very dangerous, and such, with this so-called devil of the sorts. Is this sort of contracted work? Is this from, Alice's crew, or, I doubt it, but the council, or Ketu sort of matters?
We do want to keep our benefactors a bit reserved for confidential reasons. But you could say an employee from Ketu is kind of interested in this.
Let's just say it's not a personal field trip.
That's fair. I imagine so. But, actually, looking at it, you all look like fairly strong warriors, if you will. They'll kind of look at each and every one of you, more so kind of judging each of your form, looking at the blade of Bushi, looking at more so exactly what the aesthetic is, or maybe what, more so what Chet and kind of Aaron are all about. Looking over towards Nell, they look over and see the firearms. They know exactly what you're about without having to sort of ask any more questions, you know. But they'll begin to say, Oh, by the way, you can feel free to eat and such. Again, we have plenty, if you will. I always try to sort of think and I guess and such. Or not guess, but more so think about things to sort of really tease the brain, if you will. Care to join me? I have more so a riddle that I've been sort of working on and such.
I am interested in the riddle, but I haven't lived this long by accepting food from strangers, as you can probably tell.
Oh, I mean, she kind of chuckles to herself before eventually beginning to say, I get it. It's understandable, but if it means anything, and I doubt it, I know how the Forbidden Expanse is. It's very rare that people are more so, how you say, willing to sort of work together, especially with the likes of war on the horizon. I can understand your bits of hesitation, if you will, but I'm eating out of it, and if you so choose to, by all means, go for it. If not, fine by me. Regardless, here, let us see exactly. So, the riddle is to live today and die tomorrow. What is it that I must borrow? A chance, a breath, or a moment of time? What will it take to make me mine? And I'm going to copy and paste this in the likes of the chat for you guys to sort of reference and such. But while that's sort of happening, you'll see as she begins to look over and say, I'll tell you what, if you get this sort of riddle right, I will give you, if you ever decide to use it, I'll give you double the bread. Why not? Again, we have plenty. And I'm going to drop this in in-game content chat for you guys. And I guess anybody... Actually, no, I'm not going to drop it in chat. You guys don't need to know. Alright. She looks over, looking at all of you. Stumped yet?
Would I be able to roll an intelligence check or something?
I'll tell you what.
That's my best stat. So.
Tell you what. Choose between either a history or a nature check, my friend.
History, without a doubt.
Go for it.
Better than the last.
Can I help him and give him advantage?
Probably not advantage because I don't think you can really help somebody think too much, unless you can explain how you're gonna help them out. If you can explain it, then yeah, I got you.
I'll back up to him as he's on the robot and just brainstorm with him behind Direct's head.
Kind of just trying to maybe if you get any random ideas. All right, yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
No, you can roll with advantage.
That's control. Control to advantage.
No, alt for advantage.
Alt. Alright, I am going to...
God!
Is that a nat? What was that?
Nat 1
That
and then a
was-
5.
You
All
have
right.
not done any history check well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is not
unlucky.
good. Guidance and my other ability.
Mhm.
Phase.
So 19, still pretty good considering that you rolled a 5, right? 19.
Yeah.
So with that, you kind of try to recall anything, but yeah, one thing that you kind of remember that ancient texts kind of refer to, and they often refer to some things as like a way to bridge the gap between life and death. Some sort of more so look towards things such as your destiny, journey, or more of the likes of will or willpower, if you will. Hope being another one and such, but that's what you would roughly be able to get with your 19 on your history check to kind of point you in the right direction. But something that can kind of bridge the gap between life and death, that can be a factor in whether one happens or the other one happens.
Hmm.
Either way, I'm not accepting the bread, so it's not really on to me. It's if you guys. I like riddles. So it's like,
All right.
Right?
First guess. Bravery.
Bravery. A good guess. Very, very good guess. Technically, you probably would. Technically, I guess these two would maybe come hand in hand now that I think about it, but bravery's not exactly correct.
Hmm.
What about the rest of you? She sort of takes a sip out of a little, not flask, but I can't think of the thing. Thing that you'd
Wineskin.
hold water in. What's it called?
wineskin.
Yeah, there we go. Water skin.
So the intelligence check on us, something that helps between life and death.
You're a little low. Say that again.
Alright, the intelligence check revealed that it has something to do with life and death.
Something that can sort of, it's something that can kind of decide whether one happens or the other, and such. And this is sort of, yeah, just ancient text. He also said that bravery was pretty, close.
I think Bushi will just say power.
Luck, power, good guesses. I guess there is a bit of power technically in this. Actually, you know what? No, I guess there would be a lot of power and such. Or if you have a lot of this, and the more you have of it, probably the more that you could really accomplish, right? Luck? I wouldn't say necessarily, but it is useful from time to time. Tell you what, make a one of you guys make a nature check. Can't be Nell though.
I'm gonna.
Who's got the highest?
Not I.
Have a check again?
Nature check.
I'm apparently proficient in it for some reason.
I have history, not nature.
I got nature too. What's your modifier?
+4 on it.
Okay, you beat me on one.
I'm gonna say awareness.
Awareness.
Wow, I rolled a 2. Doesn't even matter.
Man.
Or knowledge.
Oh god.
Or knowledge. I don't know.
Awareness, knowledge.
Faith.
No. What'd you say?
Faith.
Now that is probably one of the closest things that either of any of these answers that you have sort of said. You'll look over and you'll see as a couple of the Wastelanders are kind of chuckling for a bit as they're laughing. No, don't laugh at them. Don't act like you weren't looking or trying to sort of guess 20 times. It took you over there, and they'll kind of point over towards the individual towards the right. It took Rashid over there about 30 tries or so don't you dare look at me like that.
I rely on my intelligence a lot, but you got me stumped.
Here. She'll look over. So you truly are stumped?
Do we have more than one try?
Well, I've given you about, I think, 9 tries so far.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that is fine. Here.
I think I'm
come.
stumped.
And I just want to make sure everybody, you guys all stumped before they do this.
Only thing closer than faith would be God itself.
Perhaps, in a way. Come. Here. You said you all were going to the lengths of the mines, anyways. At least let me show you where it could be. Now explain. You'll see as she'll begin to sort of stand up and kind of takes the final bite out of a bit of the bread before packing up a couple of things. And as she sort of does so, she begins to immediately just starts kind of like walking gracefully off to the side. Look over and you'll see as some of the vultures, they're kind of just still looking and just aimlessly staring. And it's definitely strange, but you'll see as one of the Wastelanders kind of just sort of before eventually walking in and all that sort of stuff. As they kind of do. I'll begin to start heading in. Do you guys follow him or not?
Yeah, I
Nell's
think
gonna-
absolutely.
Nell's gonna follow, but as Direct's walking forward, he's just gonna stare at the birds for a minute as he's walking in.
Oh,
Do I notice anything?
You're looking at the birds and seeing if they do anything while everybody's walking
Yeah.
in? Gotcha, okay.
And I mean, Aaron's seen satchels, and I was like, kind of just like, that piqued my interest a bit. I didn't know if I'd see it or not.
Yeah, so you look over, the vultures, they're kind of just staring at you the entire time, but what you would notice, also the overlay messed up from a while ago. I can fix it. There we go. But what you would notice is that they're not really moving, but the one with the satchel, it does seem to start flapping its wings before getting ready to start taking off somewhere. You see as it's very much, the satchel is very much loose. Any little small thing or nudge could easily get that thing to get knocked off. But regardless, it's getting ready to take flight and head away wherever. And it's heading kind of like toward the north, but more so above the likes of this little set of rocks and stone. And this is the one that's getting ready to fly over. You guys doing anything or just letting it be?
I've got something. I've got a boomerang.
I've got basic gust spell, small sensory effects and whatnot, ruffle leaves, maybe ruffle feathers, harmless.
I'm gonna take out my boomerang and look over to Aaron. Want to do something fun?
Put the toys away now, as I just kind of nudge my head, casting the spell, manipulating the wind right around it.
Gust of wind.
You're probably right. And
Yeah, it's not gust of wind. Let me actually look at it.
Is it prestidigitation?
It should be it should be gust of wind. Your innate spellcasting. Or is it gust?
Cantrip, basic gust.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. You kind of have to like sort of crawl or climb up to one of these sort of pillars and such. But as you cast the likes of the spell, immediately you throw off the likes of their trajectory and just they fly over and immediately sort of like nearly skid across the likes of the ground and nearly the ruins, almost hurting themselves. But eventually, just like that little bit of tussle or sort of jostling, immediately you'll have the likes of the satchel fall down, striking the likes of the sands. And it's free for you to pick up and use if you wish. But regardless, this guy's gonna keep flying on.
If it's I was going to use my boomerang to snatch it, but you got it already. Cool. Where's it at?
Oh, it's just you guys just pick it up if you just let me know. Yeah. So go ahead.
As I go to pick it up, I look at Nell. I don't trust this area. I'd rather leave subtlety as our first options. I pick it up, glance in it as quick as I can before shoving it in my pocket.
As you kind of do so, you just hear, everything okay over there? You coming? Or...
Yep, just looking at the birds. They look strange.
Very. You probably don't stay at them too long. They probably want to eat you.
Good idea. As he kind of taps direct and he continues walking in.
As you're kind of doing so, you kind of look over and we don't have a map for this part specifically, but you guys are walking through the likes of a small sort of, where is it? You kind of are walking through this sort of entrance to a cave, and you can see that sunlight is streaming through the top of this sort of rocky roof above. It's illuminating the room with the kind of orangish glow, but you also can see red cloth kind of fluttering from both sides of the entrance. It's more so hanging at the top portion towards the ceiling, and it's blocking out a little bit of the sun, but not super well with this strange little tarp. Regardless, you look over and you see as there is, how you say, other bits of other bits of signs of like multiple individuals sort of being here. You can kind of look over and you see as there's footsteps and such. A decent bit too, probably well over maybe not a dozen, but a little bit less than a dozen or so. And eventually, as you're kind of doing that, the woman begins to speak. Ario says, well, you see, every single time you sort of go about it. So let's say, have you ever heard of I love this sort of analogy. Have you ever heard the story of the farmer and the sort of seed, if you will?
Enlighten me.
Sure. Well, essentially, they always say that, whenever it comes to the likes of a farmer and such, well, why do they or what is sort of their plan? What is their sort of intention? Well, obviously, it would be to grow crops and to be able to grow something that they could either sell or they could eat or whatever, but it's not necessarily guaranteed that, well, said seed will turn into something favorable. But they need this sort of thing or they more so rely and do something, hopefully, making sure that it will live to see, well, how you say, its eventual destiny and use. Cece looks over towards you all. Any guesses now, or must I continue?
Water.
Nell kind of chuckles. I think I get the idea.
Yes. So, essentially, even in the likes of the sort of Forbidden Expanse and such, they sort of cling to this sort of ideal, if you will, more so trying to be hopeful for the likes of their survival, to be able to leave their mark on the likes of the Auroraverse and more and all that sort of jazz. And it's wonderful, it's grand, it truly, truly is and such, but at a certain point, I do wonder if this sort of thing is going to be enough when it comes to the likes of the end. You've seen all those sort of those bit of corruptive figures, if you will, have you not? She says corruptive, nothing happens.
Bushi put his hand on his sword and just gave Nell a very dangerous look when he saw that.
I would,
We have dealt with the ethereal ones, yes.
yes.
Oh, what is Oh, you don't like. Oh, I'm sorry. I said the word corruption. Oh, I did it again. Oh my gosh. I am so sorry. I am so. Oh my god. I need to scrub my mouth out with soap or something. My apologies.
They
So sorry.
Should
So sorry.
have done that. They should have done that for you.
Normally.
Kind of teasing the wounds on the inside of my cheek.
Yes, they're definitely troublesome and such, but here, we're getting closer to the likes of the mines and such, but we have to pass through. You can actually meet a couple of my friends and such. Here, you'll see as they kind of walk a little bit ahead and they say, also, hello, we have a couple of individuals, survivors, if you will. Do not be alarmed, they're friendly. Friends of mine. Friends of Aria.
How many are there of you?
Well,
he looks around and looks at the tracks.
Looking around, well, there's a couple of us, and such. I'd want to say, well, we started off with about 20 or so, but, funny enough, those little, ethereal ones, if you will, they separated us, if you will, and there's also, well, gosh, embarrassing, but, you see, we are more so nomads, if you will, for lack of a better term. We go where we kind of can, and we sort of explore and scavenge as much as, well, we really can get. But, it seems to be staying in one place isn't necessarily the greatest in the Forbidden Expanse. But, though we started off with about 30 or 20 or 20 to 30 or so, I joined in a little bit later, and now we're down to about, 12-ish, 9 to 12.
Judging by the tracks, does it seem fairly accurate? Like, can I tell that, or
Roughly, yeah.
like, within range? Yeah, like rough range. Yeah.
I would say so. I would say so.
I mean, 'tis Odin. You tend to lose some along the way.
And at this point, you guys would look over ahead, and you can kind of see as you guys come across a little bit of an opening and such. Now this is all right. Time to show you some weird shit in Voden. This is very, very weird. I'm gonna try to describe it as best I can. So, you come into this area, and it's like a bridge of the sorts that you're gonna see in 2 seconds. But this is still kind of in an enclosed space. It is now the walls are very much spread out and spaced out and such, and there's water going through here. But regardless, on your left and on your right, there are massive sort of walls of rocks and stone that are spiraling up to 50 to maybe 60 feet upwards. And there is, there's not necessarily like a roof overhead, but it's more of kind of like you guys are stuck in the likes of a ravine that is pretty massive in width. let me show you guys what you see over here. You also see as there's a bunch of barricades, it's sort of an encampment, if you will, and such. As these guys have definitely set up camp for now and set up their own defenses. But this is roughly what you kind of see. Let's see as the mage is sort of looking around and all this is sort of happening. You see, well, hope is a great sort of thing. It's can more so keep you alive in certain situations, and a lack of it, well, let's just say it can also be about your downfall. That's something that we had to learn, well, the hard way and such. That is, well, more so the answer to the likes of the riddle if you weren't able to piece it together. Now, I'm here. Look, we have friends, visitors, if you will. Please, again, show them the kindest bit of respect. They're looking for the mines. They're getting ready to, well, make our lives a little bit easier and such, and clear it out. I'll see as this individual sort of make their way, or move out of the way and such, and allow you guys to sort of go in.
And she said the answer was hope. Is
Yes.
that correct?
It was.
I think Bushi just laughs at that and says,
Oh, that I thought I said the dang.
Close. You guys were close. I was like, braver. I'm like, I mean, you know. And then I was like, faith. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty damn close. It was like, god damn it. But not. It is hope. See, is they'll look over and as they're sort of doing so, see as they're kind of walking by. You'll notice as there's an archer up above, and they're kind of looking at you, looking down. Before eventually, you'll see as they say, excuse us, please, if you will. Again, just friends. As friends. But one thing that actually, what is one thing that you all sort of hope for exactly? She kind of turns around and looks towards you.
Bushi is silent. He's going to go last if possible. I got a good one. So
As I look at you, because I was trying to stay last, I assume you just gesture me forward.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly to survive another day.
Understandable. What have you? They kind of look towards, I guess, Jet, or if anybody else wants to jump in.
I hope to see my family again one day.
Understandable. Truly. You see as they sort of share a warm look, but I look over towards the likes of Aaron.
Victory finally, and protection.
They look over. Do they? Question. Do they hear that part? I just want to more so for clarity and all that.
Yeah. Anytime I
Okay.
speak in Arctis's voice, it is going to be out loud in character.
Gotcha. All right. You'll see it. You'll turn a couple of heads with that. They're like, "What the fuck was?" All right.
You can
Copy.
also imagine a slight glow, like any part of my body connected to my soul will slightly glow, eyes, marks,
Mm-hmm.
as Arctis kind of takes his place and says his voice.
Easy enough. And they look towards Bushi last.
hope is something that died in me long ago. I forged my own destiny now.
I'm sorry to hear that. Well, guess we may carry on. But you know exactly what I'm hopeful for.
What would that be?
Certainly not company.
Well, I do actually hope for company. But what I also hope for is... I'd hope that you would stop right there and give me all of your belongings now. And you
Of
look
course.
over, you see that you are in the middle of everybody at the moment. And shit. You look over and you'll see as the archer is sort of looking down at both or some of you and immediately has an arrow knocked and ready to sort of fire at Nell immediately. You look over and you'll see as
I've
two
had my
individuals
hands
are
on
grabbing.
my rifle.
You'll see as two individuals are sort of grabbing the likes of their swords and more, and eventually you'll see as you're trying to grab your rifle, the mage will begin to say, "I'd rather not sort of think about that unless you're looking to place it onto the ground nicely."
Before we have this tussle, if this goes this way, any information on the mine that you previously have known would be actually quite helpful.
I see, so you look to make a trade. Well, I'll tell you what, they were not so cruel, if you will. Information for your stuff. I think that's a fair trade. Sure. Stuff first.
He kind of looks over to Aaron. How about gems? A bag of gems. That's pretty much all at least me and my fellow here, mainly just have on us.
How about it? A bag of gems. We keep our shit. And you tell us what we want. We all leave peacefully, and you don't need to see why we travel the Forbidden Expanse confidently.
I wouldn't say confidently.
Well, Aaron, make an intimidation or persuasion check. If anybody's helping him out, you can add on to it, and then we'll give you advantage.
As he kind of threatens, you kind of see Direct. He kind of like not really flexes, but all of the mechanical like gears kind of start winding up as now kind of initiates something to start up a battle sequence inside of him. So he starts like moving, and it starts almost pulsing at the anything that like glows blue on the art essentially starts glowing more and more.
I as well, as you could just hear Arxis's low under as I stand there awaiting the answer.
All right, make an intimidation with advantage. Has anybody else had anything? I guess
I'm gonna wait till it can keep rolling until again.
I think Bushi just has a cold smile on his face, something that tells you he's ready for this. His blade, he thumbs his blade out of the Seiya just a little bit, just a half an inch, as if to say I'm ready, but it doesn't come out the rest of the way.
Fair enough. As you do so, Aaron, one more time for your intimidation. 19.
19.
You look over and they look at it. They look at the sort of gems. They look at you. My, so bold and such, even though you are outnumbered, outgunned, and such. Oh. These bag of gems, where are they?
I hold it up and throw it onto the ground in front of me, letting them spill out over.
The look over. You. I kind of motion for this individual to hold on, anything. The motion for this individual to sort of rush over and pick them up. He does so. He rushes over.
As he does so, I look him dead in the eye and growl louder.
He's like, what the fuck are you? And begins to start picking and bagging a couple of the crystals and more and all that such. As he sort of does so, looks over at you, sort of immediately begins to start almost snarling for a moment, just spits on the ground like only several inches away from your foot. As he does so, grab the next of the sort of, or the gems and more. With that, we'll look over. Very well. Is everything in accounted for? Yes, this will fetch a fortune over in Ketu. Alright, I think we'll be good. I'll be good. We'll be good. I'll be good. Right? looks over, and while this is sort of happening, I need actually no, you probably wouldn't need to make a perception check. Bushi, as you're kind of looking around, you look over and you see as one individual in this troop over here. They don't seem to be like the rest. You look over and they seem to actually, seem to have their hands behind their back and more, and it hasn't sort of moved the entire time. But looking over around it, you can kind of guess that this person is bound.
Oh, interesting. I think Bush will lean into Aaron at that point and say, "What do you think that one's story is? Captive, but for what?"
I look around, hearing the after hearing that, and the henchman confused on if it was her success or his success, right? Because the gems, will be good, I'll be good,
right?
And just kind of look around at him. How much of a cut does she take? How much of the scraps must you feed off of? Making that loud enough for all to hear, looking down at the camp. How much blood for how many crumbs?
Looks over towards them.
What could you do with that bag for your brothers?
You'll see as this individual begins to sort of hand the bag over, as this individual in blue begins to speak, as they begin to say, "Well, you know, there's a lot of things that you can sort of do, especially when it comes to the likes of Ketu. You see, I like to view this place as a land of opportunity. This is a place where greed is more so embraced and such. And let's just say everyone has to work their way some way. Whether you start off as sort of with a little bit of a head start as possibly a sultan, or you more so start as a little gutter rat like this one." Just kind of sort of jostles him, kind of like punches him in the shoulder, like more so jokingly, kind of like teasing him. But with if you have an insight check above 10, you can kind of tell that it may not be as mutual, if you will, between the two. Regardless, I will begin to say, you'll see, we have many individuals who would be willing to make sure that any bit of work is well compensated, but I don't think that's any of your business. So, carry along, go to your mines and such, and become heroes and do as you wish, and embrace the light, you know.
Now it's for that. What was you gonna say?
You said this one was bound, yes?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I was going to speak over to the oculi. Now about that information about the mines, anything you could share as a part of this deal?
I'll look over. Made that intimidation check from earlier. Yeah, we'll do it. They'll say, well, you see, there is another way to get into the likes of the mines and such. Up ahead, if you will, through the likes of this. Cut through over towards the east, and you'll find a little small cave entrance. It's not necessarily the premier sort of spot, but you go through there, any sort of unlikely individuals won't necessarily see you coming.
How high up is this bridge?
Insight check.
Hold on, I have it written down. It's not too tall. It's about actually, no, it is. It's about 30 feet in there.
30
I'm
feet.
gonna insight
That's
check
not
for-
that bad. That's not that tall.
Makes sense. Go ahead, insight check.
I think while this is happening, Bush will say, "How much for the bound one?" We could use
22.
an extra.
Go ahead. No, right, go ahead, Bushi.
How much for the bound one? We could use an extra set of hands.
With the 22, you notice that she's being truthful. So look, or you'll see as actually the dude will sort of look over. They haven't introduced themselves, but they'll begin to say, that one, oh my god. That one is, I don't know, they're necessarily not for sale, if you will. They are very, very useful for to us. You see, they know an individual, a certain person that we need to reconnect with. I'm sure you understand, though, right? You see as the individual is sort of like groaning, kind of trying to like move away from the likes of these, clear bandits, and such, trying to get away from them.
That individual, I point at him. Just talking to whoever was talking, and with that point, I'll use message and say, "Why are you here?" Did that?
Yeah. As you sort of say that, 1 second. Hold on. Just trying to, all right, make sure. Okay. You'll see as they'll begin to speak into the likes of your head and say, not by choice. Separated from the Wanderers. Faction. Crew. Help me if you can. Wait, what the hell? And you see as they kind of look up, and as they do so, oh boy, I gotta replay more bot. But you look over and you see one of the strangest things that you all have ever sort of noticed while in the Forbidden Expanse.
Oh.
You might have been able to see it earlier, but look around and why is it snowing?
Mm.
You look over and you see as flakes of white are just falling almost from the lakes of the sky, and you see as it almost the sky is still blue. Keep that in mind and such, but it's beginning to start snowing and such further and further down, and you feel this strange sort of cold begin to start forming above or around you. This is strange, but more so, it's probably voting in their bullshit, most likely. Go ahead. And what you were sort of saying and doing while I fix Bardbot.
Is this a river underneath the bridge? Is that there, or is it
Yes, it is.
close to a cat? Okay.
There we go.
As he answers that, I look up and see that with him, and then snap myself out as I know Voden's just weird as hell. And actually, can I make a history check on it?
Yeah, you can if you want. Actually, this wouldn't be a history check. This would actually be a religion check for me. While this is sort of happening, though, you'll see as the woman will begin to speak and say, well, we've got you a bit of information. It seems that Voden is even telling you that you are staying for a little longer than maybe welcome. I suggest that you get a move on. The tabaxi remains with us. The 7 on your religion check, at most you would know is that the taiga, the Azure taiga, it has been in a perpetual winter for who knows how long, and it never came out of it. And since then, you do notice that Jaded Dragon Valley has been getting a lot colder recently. Snow has been a little bit more prevalent, and the Forbidden Expanse ever having or seeing snow is ridiculous. But you've heard stories of it, and you thought they were all myths and just folk tales, but you're living in one now. This is real. But that's all you'd be able to get.
As I start to turn away, I use the last bit of the focus I have on message. If you want help, what's their weakness?
Mage. She heals them. She talks big. She falls fast.
And
Bound me. I'll help.
how high does fall damage start occurring?
Oh, bad, I was muted. 10 feet.
At 10 feet, and then it's a d6 for everything after 10 feet.
Starting with 10 feet, then like it's the first d6, and then 20 is 2, 30 is 3, yada yada.
I will
I will-
say, are you sharing this information with us? Or are you,
I walk up and I look over at everybody making eye contact with each of the party, looking down at him, over at her, and around, kind of making it clear that I'm asking for consent, looking at their eyes for their replies.
I kind of look over back at Bushi.
Bushy smiles.
I look over at Chet.
His hand is floating near his rapier.
Cowabunga.
Let's go! As he discharges it.
I cast Gust of Wind immediately at her.
Well, you would be able to get your surprise rounds, but they're already expecting it. So as this happens, your souls be shackled, and the time for battle is now. It's time to roll
Oh,
for
God.
initiative. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. I would have let you get the ready to action off, but they were all literally like, they were an inch away from
Yeah.
slitting your throats, you know? So, they were
Yeah.
expecting this. So, all right, I got you guys for initiative and all that sort of stuff. Let's grab these guys. Let's roll initiative here. Let me take your Steel Defender out of initiative, though. And is that everybody? Yes, that is everybody. Let's roll for NPCs. All right, so you guys can start rolling for initiative. Let me close something over here real quick.
It's a lot of dice.
Oh, jeez. Oh! Somebody got something.
All right, there
Dirty
you go.
20, but I'll take it.
That's
Oh
a
man,
lot
this is a
of
lot
dice.
of dice.
Where's the,
Where's the
That's
initiative?
bad, right?
Where's the initiative roller again?
Yeah, I got you. So, if you go to if you don't see it at the top of the screen, go to the top right of your screen and look for the two crossed swords. All right, and then.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
oh, right.
On the image.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nat 20. That's what we like to
Yes.
see. Good shit.
Oh, thank God.
There's a time we needed it now.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, y'all. I'm adding this. Let's see if this will work. There we go. That's what we like to see. All right. Terrybot, take it away. Skip, if you will. Come on. I believe in you. I'm posting the also the soundtrack for combat if you want in chat. There you go. But while this is sort of happening. Oh, no, you didn't roll for initiative.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out,
So top right of your
Just-
screen, go to the sword icon looking thing. You see that?
yes.
All right.
Okay,
Once you
I
do
found
that-
it.
Oh, you got it. All right, cool.
Oh,
Ooh. So
I can hold up the back.
Nat 20.
I can hold up the back.
All right, fair enough. All right, so if that's the case, then we start off initiative as Aaron. You look over, and as the individual behind you, they're getting ready to launch an arrow directly towards the back of Bushi's skull. However, you're the first one. You're quick to react. What would you like to do at this point in time?
All right.
There we go.
I am going to look at the mage and cast Gust of Wind on her.
All right, Gust of Wind. That's the that's the spell, not the cantrip, right?
Right, that's the big one. That's the strength save throw.
Got you. So if you cast a spell, if you cast a spell onto them, it'll ask you for a template. You'll see it'll ask you for the template if you look in the chat where all the rolls are. See what I mean?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, just make sure not to hit your ally. That would suck. All right. While you're sort of doing this, you begin to, I'll describe it as this is happening. You see as you're immediately just sending the forceful wind towards them as they're getting blown backwards from it. Let's see with their strength save if they're able to resist. Holy crap, okay, a 19 from them. I did not expect that. They're able to hold their ground as they're sort of brushed or sent back or directly into the wall. If it wasn't for the wall, they would immediately went going toppling over and more. But they're able to stand tall, and as they stake the staff into the ground. All right, Aaron, that is your action. You do have a bonus action, though.
Bonus action. Yep. I'm just going to have to leave it there.
All right. Does it stay there? That's actually a good question.
Yeah, it's a concentration spell for 1 minute.
Got you. All right,
And she takes half speed moving towards me.
All right.
And as an action, I can change the direction anytime I want.
Easy enough. So, that said, as that is your action, anything else for your turn, or are you good to go?
I think other than that. Yep, that'll be it.
All right, you got it. While this is happening, you'll see as the archer is getting ready to unleash that arrow immediately, and as they do, let me just make sure how many attacks they get. All right, they get 2. They're going to fire twice directly towards Bushi with the long bow. All right, first attack is going to be a 25 to hit, 6 points of damage. Secondary attack is going to be another one. It's going to be 7 points of damage with 19 to hit as the 2 arrows catch you directly into your back. They're not striking into your neck or head as you're barely able to turn around just in the nick of time. But that will actually, they would have used this beforehand, but they would have used their bonus action, Archer's Eye, and as they do so, you see as they focus in, they unleash the arrow, striking it directly in, and you see as they get a vital sort of point into your back. It nearly sort of pierces throughout the other side, but you're still okay for now, but you are going to take an extra D10 of damage. It's only 1. Ooh. There you go. All right. That will be their go. They're going to remain up here. They're comfortable being up top here. All right. This Wastelander's going to go. Afterwards, back to the individual who is still bound. This individual, they're going to... You guys are surrounded, but they got a lot of people over there. Gonna try to get over here. Gonna try to get over there. They're moving. Ooh, not that far. They're going to take the legs of a small sort of crossbow bolt out, and as they do, they're going to just fire it over at the legs of Chet as they try to send it over and through the legs of the ladder over towards you. Like crossbow, it's going to be a pretty good 19 to hit, but it still does miss as your AC is 20 because of the mage armor from before. So what does the mage armor look like as it kind of takes to this arrow?
As the arrow is flying towards Chet, when it comes close up, the flames just leap up and burn the arrow.
Easy enough. As you kind of do so, you look over, and we look over towards this individual. They're going to just try to, as they see this kind of going down, they're going to just try to shove this guy off of the rock. They're going to use their action to shove, and it's going to be an athletics check. 15 versus their athletics. That is a 5. Yeah, they're going to go immediately falling down as they just get dropped off to the ground. As this happens, you'll see as they're trying to rush over and trying to figure out a way to cut themselves free, but they're still bound, and they're going to try to rush over towards here. Down here. And that is their turn. All right, Mage's turn. Here's what she is going to do. It's not much, but she is going to look over and she'll slam the staff onto the ground, and you'll look over as multiple individuals begin to start being engulfed in this divine light. She begins to say, Farika, bless me, and take these individuals to the likes of the river Styx. With that, she is going to cast Bless on this individual, and screw it, herself. She's going to cast that. All right, as they're blessed, that will be the likes of her turn, because she kind of can't really move, but immediately as she casts the spell, she just immediately sent backwards from the gust of wind. Try to readjust a little bit over here, but that'll be her turn. Next up, Bushi, you are up.
Okay. I think this is like a wall right here, right? Kind of the idea?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I think Bushi, I just want to kind of, I've been hit twice in the back. I think he's just going to do like a combat roll over the wall and down. And he's going to have his blade out and he's going to free. His intent is to like cut the bindings of this person as he's coming down.
All right, easy enough. It's not really a roll that you need to do it, but it will take one of your attacks as you jump down, trying to strike into the sort of binding. Shink! Immediately, they are freed. However, they look over and they say, "Thank you, friend, but I need a weapon. Do you have an extra or spare?"
Yeah, I think I have like I have the daisho, so it's the walk, like the small short sword. He throws the short sword, which is
you.
Yeah.
All right, I will give them a short sword. They will take that. Features. It's gonna be called a scimitar for now. Just because that's faster to get, but same thing. All right,
Yeah.
as they do so, that is your first attack. You do have a second one though, as you slice through.
Okay, I move 10. I think I can. I think I'm gonna make like try to defeat these guys out here. So I think I'll. Can I move like onto these boxes or near them?
Yeah,
or is that like,
it's difficult terrain, but you have enough movement to kind of do it. And I guess beforehand, more so because you asked for help. Are you using your bonus action for any of the Crimson Rights, or are you just staying, keeping it simple for now?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the.
Is it the one with the O? Or is
Yeah,
it
the Otakamoru.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
As you begin to do so, immediately you invoke the right, or Crimson Right, as your blade begins to slowly start forming with these sort of black shadows and more. As it does so, you look over at the individual in front of you, and they almost become strangely enamored with fear immediately. With that, here's what I need you to do. You are level 6, so roll a d6 for me, please. Yeah, this is with the rework, so it's only a d6, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Ah, dang. You take the full 6 points damage, but that's quite all right. All right. If you want, you can make an attack roll towards this guy.
Oh, crap.
One sec. I'm just trying to get it on my sheet here. Where's the weapons?
Yeah, trying to look. Go to your inventory.
There we go.
When you open it up. Yeah.
There we go.
After that, we got this guy and this guy. Chet, Fireside, keep in mind you are on deck soon after these bandits.
Yeah, it's not rolling. One sec.
Oh, you gotta target them, that's why.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so hover over them, hit that T key, and then you'll be good to go once you try it. There you go. And then target them. Nice, there you go. 19 to hit, or 25 to hit, 10 points of damage. Now here's what I need you to do, Bob. For the Crimson Right of Otakamoru, you basically get to do an extra 2d6 points of damage plus your Blood Hunter level. But the Crimson Right does fade afterwards. So roll 2d6, and we're gonna add 6 on top of that as well. All right, that's going to be 4 plus 6, an extra 10 points of damage as you just immediately carve through them as they are eviscerated and they drop dead. That, Bushi, that is your action. That is your bonus action. You ain't got really much of any movement left, so I believe that is your turn, correct?
Yes. Actually, no. I'll save it. I have a reaction to use, but not now. We'll hold it. So.
All right, easy enough. As you're sort of doing so, we'll look over towards the next individual off to the side. It's going to be the Wastelander here. They are going to... They're going to rush over off to here. They're going to kind of place themselves right about over there. And as they're getting ready to do so, you see as they're getting ready to sort of slice towards Chet. But as they do so, Aaron, you're distracted for a moment, and they actually don't strike towards Chet. It's a feint attack, and immediately they jab the scimitar towards you, directly into your chest. All right. We'll see what happens. It's going to roll, and that is a 13. That will miss because of the mage armor as well. What does this kind of look like as they strike into the armor? Oh, you're muted if you're speaking on Discord.
My bad. As they strike, I take my hand covered in a mystical dragon scale and just deflect the blow to my side as I shrug my shoulder away.
As you do so, you'll see as he looks over, what the immediately grunts, but that will be his turn. Chet, it is now your turn.
Is it possible to move right to the right of the lady? Here?
Yes, but you will take an attack of opportunity from this guy.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'll do it and take the attack of opportunity.
Alright, they're gonna try to swing. Let's see if that 20 AC comes into play. Scimitar attack as they just try to look over as you're getting away from them. They sweep towards your ankles, but nope, they are too distracted with the likes of Aaron. You're able to get away scot-free.
And I'm going to cast Booming Blade and then make an attack towards the lady.
You got it. As you cast Booming Blade, your weapon begins to be engulfed with the likes of the elements and more. Now, make your attack roll for me, please. Don't cast or don't like hit the Booming Blade thing. You just make the normal attack roll.
I think so. Is that going through?
I don't think so. Are you targeting them? This looks like you are. Oh, I think it's working now. Yeah, it worked now. I don't know why it was taking so long. Let's see.
That's weird.
Oh, I know why. It's because it was asking for me on something on my end. My bad. It was for concentration for Bless. So that is a 13. They will succeed for concentration, but they will take 8 points of damage. Whew, that strike immediately almost completely eviscerates them and kills them outright. As you do so, the first attack is enough to sort of rock them, but you do have a second. Actually, do you? No, you don't have a second attack because you got Booming Blade onto it. But roll your extra D8 because of the Booming Blade.
This is so annoying.
You get used to it after a little bit. To roll, yep, 2 points of extra damage and all that sort of stuff.
Also, I do believe I could be wrong here, but I think my extra attack makes it to where I can attack with a bonus action when I cast a cantrip.
Yes, I believe so. Yes, you can. So if you want, you can use or make another weapon attack as a bonus action. Go for it.
All right.
One more time. With that, whew, with 15 to hit and 5 more points of damage, like they said, the mage falls down and falls fast. How do you want to kill them, and how do you want to do this?
All right. So the first rapier, it's like strike's gonna be straight through their chest. It'll like boom, and like send them flying backwards, and then I'll take another swipe again, and slash at their neck, just open their neck up, and they will fall backwards.
With that,
And be dead.
As they sort of do so, you see as they reel back and they fall onto the ground, nearly falling off the bridge entirely. With that, Chet, is that your turn, or you got anything else for us?
I'll move right where I started.
Easy enough. All right, as you do, we go towards the Wastelanders. Then we got some captains going on. This individual is not having a great time over here, so they're going to get back up. And they are going to rush over to try to stop the likes of their prisoner from escaping. They're gonna make an attack towards them. Ooh, that misses with a 6. That will be their turn. Next individual over here, they're going to start. This individual over here, they're actually going to not attack you guys. They're going to drop down here, and they're going to use their action to dash. And they're going to keep dashing ahead this way. That will be their turn. Next up, this individual, the leader off to the side, they are going to... yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. You'll see as he'll begin to look over and he'll look towards the archer and begin to say, "Deal with the gunsmith. I'll take care of this one." And he is going to rush over, and as he does so, he slides over the sort of bridge and just drops down, crashing into the crate over to the side, and looks directly at you, Bushi. You see as he has multiple sort of daggers at his side and also multiple scimitars. Looks over and says, "Now, where were we?" And he's going to just start unloading with the multiple sort of strikes in one flurry. All right, Bushi, it's going to be, I believe, 3 attacks. Yes, 2 with the scimitar, 1 with the dagger. First attack is going to be a 11. That will miss. Second one, see? I think it's going to miss as well. The 12 is also going to miss as you're able to dodge and keep parrying strike after strike as you're sort of dealing with the scimitar. So he'll take out one of the daggers and try to catch you off guard, striking towards your thigh. Let's see. This one's going to get you with a little bit of deception, as that is a 24 to hit and 7 points of piercing damage. With that, he yanks the blade out and he will ready himself for what's come next. This Wastelander's up, and then Nell, you are after them. This one is probably going to take a pot shot over towards you, Chet. Just trying to fire at, I don't know if they can see. Actually, they'll try to shoot at Nell, but they're going to do it at disadvantage because they're having to fire through so many ladders and such. Does it go through? Nope. I'm not targeting them. There you go. Now that's a nat 1. You see as they fire over, and you see as, actually, funny enough, the snow begins to continue more and more and more, and their arrow just freezes midair. No bueno. That will be their turn as they rush over. But now you are up. What would you like to do?
So I was going to go after the magic lady, but she's already been taken care of.
Jack goes where he wants.
Yeah. Honestly, that's really good. Bonus action with Chet still, Nell still on top of him. He's gonna move. Would Derek be able to climb up on here?
Yeah, he'd be able to. Yeah,
Alright,
he's big enough to kind of just hoist himself up.
All right. With Chet on the side, using direct movement, he's going to get in melee with the archer, and then Nell is going to jump off. And is this wall able to be stood upon?
Yep.
He's going to get up on here and make his way across the bridge. I'm going to use my bonus action to smack. Derek's going to smack the archer.
All right, go for it. As you sort of do so, you get ready to grab your weapon and strike them forth while Direct is getting ready to bring the pain.
Do you hit the dice?
Say it again.
On Direct, do you hit the dice or do you hit the action?
Oh, I gotcha. For Direct, it should be good. His, I think it's the bite attack. You can ignore the description for it, but it should work. Actually, it doesn't. Hold on 1 second.
Don't believe so.
No, it's different for some reason. What was the damage? It was a D8, right?
It's a +8 to hit.
+8 to hit. All right.
Awesome. Yeah, it's my spell mod.
Yeah, I can fix that up real quick. 3 and then a D8 plus. D8 plus what damage?
Looks like.
I think it's your.
A D6 plus. I'd have to look it up.
I can look at it. Force empowered Ren, D8 plus 3. All right, there we go. So yeah, you should be able to hit their bite attack and it should work, even though it's not a bite, you know.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. As we do so, that's a 12 to hit. It will miss them, but as you swing forth, you'll see as the individual parries, and they actually take out the likes of a sword. Even though they may be an archer, they're also prepared for the likes of close combat. That is their bonus action strike, but Nell, you do have your action.
Yes. I'm going to target, move down one more, and target this Wastelander. Hot shot.
8. Nah, that's going to miss. And keep in mind, if you're not. Oh no, you're standing over there. So the first one will miss, but you do have a secondary strike if you want to take
Yeah.
that.
Seeing that miss, I'm going to target the archer from behind.
Got you. One more try.
Nice.
23. That one is going to hit with 10 points of damage added on top of it as it strikes over. That sort of crash and a booming echo begins to occur when you shoot the gun. That is your action, your bonus action, your movement. I believe that's all you got right now.
All right.
All right.
Did I take 2 points of damage somewhere?
Did you take 2 points?
Yeah, my health.
I'm looking. You might have took it by accident. I don't think you ever got hit yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it back to you.
Okay. And that should be it for me.
All right. Next up, we got Aaron. What would you like to do?
Alrighty, I'm going to take. Ooh, let me get all of that. I'm going to take Aaron and I'm going to hop right onto this wall. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to change the direction of my gust of wind, facing it this direction towards our archer friend.
Keep in mind, if you did do that, it would be affecting the legs of your allies as well. It would basically hit the legs of Nell and direct, throwing them off as well.
Nell's on the ground level, and I'm going to try to make sure this.
I'm
Yeah,
on top of the bridge side.
You're on top of the bridge side. I'm going to try to angle this upward 3D world-wise, so
Okay, I
it's
see what you
probably.
mean. Yeah.
It's going to hit the face of my guy in front of me, and I'm going to leave it up to you on how tall Chet is.
I think Chet would be fine. I don't think direct would be fine. But
No, Direct's
He's got
definitely good.
He's got
Direct's
it.
definitely making strength save there.
all right. So if that's the
For
case,
reference,
as you begin to
Chet's
sort of turn it
canonical height
over.
is-
Oh wait, this isn't gonna work. So I got it. I'll just keep in mind mentally that that's sort of happening off to the side. So they're going to need to make some strength saving throws. You can make it for direct, but his stat is not the same how it should be. So just roll a d20 now, and I'll tell you whether he fails or not. Because I'll add his modifier. This person, they're gonna make their save and throw. They're gonna. That's an 8. Yeah, they're gonna go flying.
15 feet backwards.
Ooh, that's oh god. 5, 10, 15. So they're gonna fall down. They're also taking that 10 feet of damage because they're on the elevated platform as well. Oh god. It's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be a total of 4d6 damage. That is not good for them. As they go plummeting to 40 feet, they crash down onto the ground and they take 13 points of bludgeoning damage. Whew.
Does
All right.
direct needed to make it?
Yes, he does.
Okay. Just hit strength, or is it
You just roll a d20, you know, add his modifiers and stuff.
okay? It's should just be a +3.
It's actually
Roll
plus 2 plus your proficiency bonus. Actually, no, it's just +2. So 10 and
Okay.
not. He's gonna also fail. Same sort of thing's gonna
Okay.
happen to him. He's gonna be blasted back 15 feet. All right, let's see. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, either way, he's gonna be blasted back to 40 feet as well. So he's going to take a total of 4d6 points of damage. 16 points of damage towards him, but he is still down there, and you have the archer out of the fight. But that, Aaron, that is the legs of your action, I believe, or
Bonus
is it a bonus
action.
action? Okay, cool.
It should have landed right around here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know why the measuring tool isn't working for like straight linear distances.
That's sending him back 10 feet. That's why. Yeah, not 15 feet, but it's all good. So here, in the meantime, what would you like to do as your normal action?
It says 15. Anyway, as my normal action, I'm gonna take my Eldritch Blast, and lightning's gonna crackle in each one of my hands as I send them downstairs over this one. I'm gonna hit one beam on this guy. see. Finish. Eldritch Blast. Yeah, I'm only trying to shoot one beam at him.
You got it. With that, 11 points of damage towards him. Immediately begins to start surging with electricity and more. With that, he's gonna definitely feel that one, but you do have a secondary strike.
Yes, 2 Eldritch Beams, and the other one is going to this fella down here.
Wait, hold on. You roll with disadvantage. Why? Oh, it's because the guy in front of you is. Remember, like last time, if you have a person in front of you, you do have disadvantage on ranged attacks. So that's going to be.
Did he make his strength save?
Oh, no, he didn't. You're right. That actually might change things. Hold on, let me see. Saving throw. No, he did not. He would have been blown back 15 feet. So we're gonna take the first roll, which was a 14 plus 7.
7.
So if you want to roll for that D10 real quick, and then that will be your turn, as that is time. But we're gonna send this guy flying back 15 feet. So 5, 10, 15. That whole thing is gonna collapse onto him. Dear Lord. All right. We're gonna say that's. Yeah, he's gonna
That's
crumple by
7
that.
plus.
Ooh. 7 points plus 3
Plus
is gonna
4.
be in. Oh, plus 4.
4.
Okay. Gotcha. That's gonna be 11. Another 11 more points of damage. As you do so, the Wastelander over here, he immediately gets dropped, and as he flies into this sort of structure, all of it begins to come tumbling down onto him, as he's gonna take 15 points of bludgeoning damage after taking the 3d6, and he is also dead and defeated. All right, Aaron, that is your turn. We head over towards the Wastelander Archer over here, who is with Direct. All right, this guy is gonna, first thing, they're gonna sit up. They're gonna spend half of their movement to do that because they're knocked prone. Second off, they are going to back up and try to get away from you. Direct, you will get an attack of opportunity if you wanna take that.
What's it again? D20 plus.
D20 plus, oh no, you can just hit their bite attack for this.
Okay.
It's gonna be just underneath what you need. That will miss. So instead, they're going to take 2 arrow shots towards you. They're gonna use Archer's Eye once more as their bonus action, and they're going to fire at Direct. First one, it's gonna be a that's gonna be a 10. That will miss. Second attack's going to be even lower. That's a 9. As just strike or trying to send the arrows out, but they are not able to do so. They'll look over towards the other individual and they'll begin to say, "Alert! Hurry! Alert Garthanon!" And with that, that will be that individual's turn. Next up, Wastelander. This guy is going to rush over, and they're going to actually just try to tackle the legs of Nell as you're just taking shot after shot. They're going to use their athletics check to try to knock you prone, or quote-unquote grapple you. So, Nell, I need you to make an acrobatics check or an athletics check. Your choice.
Probably athletics. Not athletics, acrobatics.
All right, you got to beat a 15.
I've not been rolling well. Nope.
13, that's not going to do it. As you're quote-unquote grappled, he's going to grab you, and he's just going to just toss you off the likes of this entire bridge. With that, you're going to immediately fall and take the likes of that 30 feet of falling damage. That's going to be 3d6 to you. You'll take a total of 11 points of damage, and that will be this individual's turn, as they're going to just ready the likes of their bow and start firing. This individual over here, they are going to take out the likes of the short sword that they got from Bushi, and they are gonna start going to town. All right, I don't know if this adds it, probably not, so I'm gonna have to do it myself. So first attack is going to be a oh god, that's not good. +3, no, I still won't hit even with it. That's going to be their first attack. Second attack, A lot better. 14 to hit, 4 points of damage, but because they're fighting style, they'll also have an extra 2 points of damage added on top as I strike into the individual, just slicing and slicing over and over. They're trying to get their rhythm back. They will use their... No, they don't have that. They don't have a bonus action for their other attack, so that will be the likes of their turn. They'll look over and they'll begin to say, towards you, Bushi, do you have that individual? Be careful. They're very dangerous. With that, Bushi, you are up. What would you like to do, buddy?
I think he'd reply, good. I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm going to use the right again. I know I've got a limited use, but this might be a life or death situation for him. So
Fair enough.
let's go ahead and activate that again.
All right.
And then we're going to take my two strikes with it. So I roll a d6 first, right? For
Yep.
damage I take?
Roll a d6. You want to roll low for this. Still rolling high, but it's all good. So you're going to take 5 points of damage, but your sword will begin engulfed with the shadowy flames. Now you're going to make a strike towards him.
Okay. Got it. All right. And inventory. I should have them selected, so...
Yep. All right, let's
Ooh.
see. 13.
Hold on. I'm going to use... I have limited use. I have something called Fortune of the Many. It gives me a +3, 3 times per long rest to either a failed saving throw or failed attack. I will try to use it here.
Gotcha,
To give me a
gotcha.
+3. Yeah.
So with that, as you sort of do so, is it you said it's a reroll, or I'll make sure I got that right.
Yeah, it says if you, it's one of the specials for the race. So if you miss with any attack roll or failed saving throw, you gain a bonus to the roll equal to the number of allies you can see up to 3. Safe to say I can see it. Maybe not because I'm on the ground actually. So maybe I don't get that.
Check. I'm pretty sure you do. Fortune of the Many.
Oh right, because these two are down actually.
No, you do.
yeah.
You would do. So that's going to be an extra 3 to hit. Yup, that's going to actually hit with Fortune of the Many because, yeah, you would have all these sort of individuals alongside you. You kind of know where Chet is. I'd say you get it. So with that, roll your D10 and also add 2d6 on top of that, and I'll do all the math for you and tell you how much damage you do. It's about to be a lot. So that's 3 plus your 8. So that's 11 plus 3. That's 14 plus your Blood Hunter level. That's 20 points of damage for the first strike as immediately just carved directly through him. You do have your secondary strike, but this one is weaker as the Crimson Right begins to dissipate. So go for it, Bushi.
Ooh, no good. Yeah.
You're able to get the first one, but not the second one as this individual begins to just parry you and just almost kick your sword to the side. Very well. With that is your turn. We head over to... Oh, unless you want to move at all. Did you?
No. I don't think
Alright.
so.
Chet, you're up. What you got for us?
The distance thing isn't working too well.
Yeah, the
think
distance
that-
measuring tool doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't, like, it's still doing the glitch. I was fixing it since last week, but it's still doing the NAN sort of thing. But
That's
you
why
just
I've been
have to-
using.
Yeah.
I've been using this line tool. That's how I knew this was like, 15 feet right there.
It depends on
Line-
where you... The only thing with that is it depends on where you place it. So, for example, like,
Right.
if you place it over here, then it'll say it's 15 feet when it's actually not, because you got to place it, like, at the edge of the square rather than inside the square or at the beginning of it.
I would say
Can I
help
get
Bougie.
adjacent to this guy?
I'd say help Bougie. I think I can handle myself over here.
Okay. So, what would it take for me to get down there? Probably like a dash action.
Oh, dude. That's just my input.
Bougie went
Okay.
for a straight walk, I think.
Hold on one second.
I would assume that you could, like, that's only 30 feet from my count.
It's doing a weird thing where it's showing I can't move, but I think it thinks I moved before.
If you count the squares that light up, I think it works out.
What's your movement speed?
Oh gosh. I should have 30 points of movement speed. I think it thinks I moved a bunch.
You probably get over.
Alright, sorry about that.
You can probably get to the square above it.
Alright, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to move adjacent to that bandit guy that's Bushy is fighting.
Gotcha, and you're seeing if you have enough movement. Let's see,
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yep, you should be able to make it.
And I can attack him with melee attacks?
So you wouldn't be able to attack him with a melee attack because he's like however many feet down. But you can try to just jump. I would allow you to be able to sort of jump down and try to tackle him if you want.
I'll just cast, what is it? Produce Flame.
Got you. All right, cast the spell. Ooh, it was so close to a 20. Oh man, 9. That won't do it. But you do have a. Well, you can't use your bonus action for anything unless you have. You want to use Twin Spell or Quicken Spell if you got that.
No, I'm good.
All right. So as the flames begin to start firing over to the side, you begin to hit something, but you just really burn the chest over towards the left. Anything else for you, Chet, or is that your go?
I think that's my turn.
All right, Wastelander over here. This individual, they're not liking what's happening, so they're gonna strike over with the scimitar. A nat 1. You see as he just sort of kicks the legs of the guy's blade, just goes flying off to the side. That is not good for him. All right, this Wastelander over here, they're going to continue doing as they were told. And they're gonna use their action to dash up on out of here, and they are out of the combat as they will flee. All right, next up in initiative, it is the leader. Let me mess that up. Let's go over here. All right, they'll look over towards Chet, they'll look over towards Bushi, and they'll begin to say, it seems that everyone is wanting a piece of me. Well, let me not disappoint. And he is going to strike over towards you, Bushi, twice, and he's going to throw a dagger towards the legs of Chet once. So, scimitar attack. First one. Oh, that was nearly a nat 20. We like that. It was an 8. 13 will miss. Secondary strike. This guy is getting so close, but it doesn't matter because that is a natural 1. Bushi, how do you defend yourself from this guy?
I think Bushi extends his neck backwards and the first blade just barely misses him. And then for the second strike, as he comes up, his blade's already there and he just deflects it, kind of almost like makes the guy sort of pitch forward a little bit. Off balance.
With that, he's going to throw his dagger. Now, the good news is he has to do it at disadvantage because, Bushi, you are within melee range of him. 11 won't be able to do it as he sends the dagger. It flies by, but it only just barely sort of clips one of your wings. Chet, that is this guy's turn. Next up initiative is the Wastelander over here. This guy, he looks over towards what happened with Nell. And he's going to do the exact same thing. He's going to just straight up try to tackle you, Chet, and try to send you flying off of this thing. Chet, I need you to make an acrobatics check or athletics check. You got to beat a 14. 5 won't do it. As he does so, he's just going to tackle or grapple you, and he's going to throw you off to the side as he's going to take you over here. All right. You're going to take a total of 3d6 damage, or 3d6 bludgeoning damage as he pushes you off.
Ooh.
You take 16 points of damage. That is not good for a sorcerer.
Does fly speed affect that? Since he gets blocked?
I'd probably say, I'll tell you what, make a dexterity saving throw for this. Let's see if you can like half it or something, right? Oh, come on!
Oh,
It said 19 and it said nah, and then just went to a 1. What is that?
Wings make me fall faster.
I guess so. All right, that is that guy's turn. Nell, you are up. What would you like to do? Nell, if you're speaking, your mic's muted.
oh, it's my turn.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
All
Okay. First things first, he's going to move. Move. I cannot move my. Wait, never mind. Sorry.
Oh wait, hold on. I think it's because I had your thing selected. My bad.
Okay. I think he might have been on land. I'm going to switch places with them. I'm guessing the guy who ran away is a bit too far for me to make a pot shot at.
Yeah, that guy is way gone. He is going.
Yeah, I was hoping the cliff would be too tall for him, but
Yeah. I'm going to take a shot at the guy up above.
All right.
That's all I can really do. Oh, I need a target. Skit.
Come on.
Wait, hold on. Why you have disadvantage? Let me see. I don't know why.
I
So
might
we're
have
gonna
rolled
take the.
twice.
So we're gonna take the first one, which was a 15 plus 6. That one would hit. Roll your D10, or is it? I think it's
Okay.
D12 damage for musket, right?
Yes.
Yeah, D12
plus something.
plus 5.
Nice.
Come on, big money, big money. 7 points of damage. That's still a lot of damage. As it strikes into him, you nearly just completely rip and tear through his face with a single shot. As you do so, you just reload, or more so continue just firing for a second one.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire again.
All right, one more. I don't know why it's making you roll with disadvantage, but you can ignore it.
Okay.
All right, that is a 7 plus 6. That will hit again. Roll one more time, or for your damage.
Damage plus 5, correct?
6 points of damage. You only have 5 points of HP, but with that, the shot takes them as you shoot them directly into their chest, and immediately as they fall down dead, you look over and the archer, they're beginning to sort of wonder if it's time to skedaddle and run, or whether they should stay here. But regardless, that individual is dead.
Bonus action, I was going to have Nell grapple.
Got it.
Yeah,
Grapple. So I need you to make roll a d20. I'm gonna add his modifier for direct. He's gonna make his acrobatics check. Really good at it, but not good enough. That's only an 8.
What's the modifier?
I'm looking it up, but you can just roll a d20
Okay.
while I'm finding it.
Okay.
Still defender. It doesn't matter. 15. It's even higher as you see, or I guess how is direct sort of grappling this individual?
I was kind of going to have him run around and then like just grab both of his arms and hold him up against his back tightly, just getting ready for probably another shot or just to detain.
Easy enough. As you do, Nell, that is your turn, I believe. Let's head over towards Aaron. You're up. What would you like to do, buddy?
Alrighty. So, the gust of wind emanates from me. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. So, alright, we already killed the, okay, he already killed this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Then I won't hop down then. I somehow didn't catch that.
Good, all good. Oh, wait, I had your thing selected, my bad. I think it's whenever the DM like has a token selected, it just doesn't let a player move or whatever. It's weird.
Alright, as my bonus action, I'm gonna change the direction of my gust and aim it straight at this dude here.
You got it. You kind of angle it in a way because he's still on top of the thing, so he's gonna make that strength saving throw. And he is going to definitely fail as he gets blasted back. 5, 10, 15. And with that, he's gonna take a total of 12 points of damage, so that's going to be his entire life bar. As he goes flying and wide, he just falls directly into the ground. You just see a blood stain down below. That is your bonus action. You do have an action, Aaron.
Alright, now I am going to use Chromatic Orb at the 3rd level. Building a ball of lightning into my hand, charging up the energy, I send it down at that dude right there. For that, it's going to be a 3/4 at third level, 5d8. It should be if it hits.
Yeah, it'll roll. Whew. So 3d8. Oh, I didn't roll at the other 2d8, but that's fine. 14 points of damage doesn't matter. How do you want to kill them?
Yeah, I accidentally clicked it twice.
No, you're fine.
As I send the ball, I send it into his chest. As it hits, it weaves into his armor, electrocuting everything. You could see the smoke rising out of his visor as his flesh melts to his plates, dropping him down.
With that, you see as all of the more so wastelanders and the kind of flunkies are dead, and at this point, they're getting the picture, and it's time to decide whether it's time to fight or flight. But, Aaron, is that your turn?
We walk the wasteland in confidence.
Oh boy. Oh no. Alright, this individual. Oh boy. Oh man, they are grappled right now. They are not having a great time. Okay. They'll look over. He's gonna I'm gonna make a check for him. I'm gonna make a check.
All right.
He's gonna look over, look to see the robot, look to you, look towards all the dead men. He's gonna put his hands up. I yield. This guy is not going to do anything. He is out of the fight. While that is sort of happening, this individual, he'll look over and you'll see as he begins to speak and say, "Your troop is dead. All of your men have died. Give up." Before he'll begin to respond and say, I embrace death. I do not fear it. But maybe I will take somebody's head before I go.
Did I target the wrong person?
We're trying to target this guy? Yeah, you targeted the other guy.
How did I do that? Oh, because he was the last person I targeted and I didn't switch. Okay. Whoops.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, this guy is just going to walk over and they're going to just try to immediately try to help out Bushi and Chet as much as they can, make sure they can't go anywhere. They're going to make just 2 attacks towards them. Alright, it's going to be 1 attack, Scimitar. It's going to be 2 points of damage for 15 to hit. Second point of damage. Oh, it also that's the other 2. The second strike will unfortunately miss, but they will take an extra the 2 from the one thing. That will be the legs of their turn. Bushi, you are up. Go for it.
Okay, just this time, just straight double attacks here. And I'll add some flavor, but I want to see whether they succeed or fail.
Fair enough.
Again.
10 points of damage. That's going to be a good start as you strike into him. He's barely left standing. You do have a second one. And Bushi with a 22 to hit and 10 points of damage. Describe their demise, my friend.
He smiles when the guy says he does not fear death. He says, "I like your answer." And with that, he just takes his head off.
With a clean sort of slice amongst the neck, and you see as his head begins to roll and roll amongst the sands. And with that, as you begin to sheathe your blade, Bushi, you have dealt the final blow and the final kill. But combat is now at an end. Alright, let me go grab this sort of thing and go switch this out. Alright, while this is sort of happening, you'll see as, oh, what the heck? I can't see my mouse or Discord. There we go. While this is sort of happening and I'm changing the music and such, what are you guys kind of doing off to the side?
I'm going to walk over and start mending direct while he's still holding the individual.
Fair enough. As you're sort of mending them, how many... Do you actually have the cantrip?
Yeah, yes.
Gotcha. Alright, go
It
ahead.
is like a 2d6 healing.
Yeah. Go ahead. Someone was trying to say something.
I'm going to make my way over to grabbing the mage lady, dragging her over the wall and dropping her right in front of the archer. Look him dead in the eye from above as the body plops. Who is Garthanon?
Look over. I'm going to say... He looks over and sees this before saying... Garthanon is... greed incarnate. They know wealth, they know riches, and they also know that this is only but a minor setback.
I look at him and all the bodies laid around, and apparently he also knows incompetence. I turn around and start walking towards the others.
Apparently so. But more gold for me, I guess.
I pick up my bag of rubies, my bag of gems. Take that shit back now.
Fair enough. As you do, you look over and eventually the individual that's a backseat will look over and she'll begin to speak and say, yes, I'd appreciate this. You, all of you fight well. Very, very well. Fang appreciates this, but you all, is it true that you are looking for this mine, for Garthanon, they say?
We are. Indeed.
Well, I do know that Garthanon is a very, very powerful individual. These raiders of the sorts, they took me into their mines and such, but only the beginnings of it. They took myself, Fang, and what I saw was something I thought that wasn't even possible. They look over, and they begin to speak, and they kind of almost side-eye the likes of you, Chet. This is... they wield some strange flame. Hellfire. Some sort of power, not by the gods. No. Power wielded by a devil. I know they're a tiefling, but this is ever so strange. They coerce these people with wealth, both beyond imaginable power. But I'm not even sure if it is true. I have not seen it, but I know they promise it.
I see. And how did you come to be their captive? While he's saying this too, he's got his blade in his hand. He's cleaning it off,
Yeah.
getting ready to sheath it, kind of mending to like nursing his wounds a little bit. Process.
I'll look over and say, well, I guess you didn't hear it because it was you. That one said, point towards Aaron. Well, I am, used to be a part of the likes of the Wanderers. We were a faction of the sorts throughout the Forbidden Expanse. Well, we were looking for the promised land of destined greatness and jaded dragons. We looked. We sought many moons, but we were not enough. The likes of this starry force, they raided us and such, but eventually we were split apart in the sort of disaster. My chieftain, a turtle named Cree, he and our people, I told them that we need to leave and we need to continue moving, but it was not enough. Eventually, and when everyone was sort of dispersed, I saw these individuals. I saw that woman, and she seemed nice at first. I was wary of her, but she showed me no means of deceit. That was my first mistake, and if it wasn't for you all, it would have been my last.
Guess it's hard to find any hospitality in this damn desert.
That's for sure. Say, and to who do I owe my saviors? What are your names?
Chet or Fireside, but you can pretty much ignore the second one.
Old Bushi.
Bushi. I'll go over towards you.
Aaron Arxis.
I kind of look around like, did anybody else hear that? Okay. I see. You can refer to me as Feng. That's at least what everyone calls me. With that, they'll look over and they'll kind of, here, and they'll kind of hand you back the sword, Bushi.
Bushi will take the blade back and nod.
Well, if this is the case, I shall leave you all to the likes of your adventure and such. Besides, I'm not much use when it comes to the likes of fighting right now. I'm weak. But it is appreciated.
Well, you
I didn't do it for you, he said. We did this because what these people were doing, well, you were one victim. I'm sure you're not the only.
Guide us to the cave entrance.
I can do that. In fact, the shortcut the woman spoke of, I can show you to that as well. I know where it is.
I yell back over my shoulder, we're having less and less use of you. To the prisoner back there.
Nell has just been like interrogating him of like what like the forces that Garthanox has, how many individuals are under him, and if he's ever seen a red gem, referring to the quest item.
Look over. You look over and you see as Garthanon, they have as many individuals and followers as they can buy. There is no limit to their power, if there is no limit to their gold.
Then what would be his net worth?
He sort of chuckles. As much as the sin of greed can muster. And if you can guess, quite a lot. Enough to sort of... And he kind of looks over, kind of like below the bridge, towards the one guy's sort of neck that Bushi sliced off. Motioning towards their more golden aesthetic and all that stuff. Apparently, they pay, well, a lot and such. He was one of their favorites. Me, not so much. But that is fine. There's now room for new management.
So what makes you think you'll be alive to see it?
Well, you see, you could kill me. Very much so. Very much. But if you did, then how else would you go see Garthanon? Sure, you can fight your way left and right, over and over and over again, and not know exactly what is coming. Or you can keep me alive, and I can show you their glory. The choice is yours, truly.
It seems reasonable enough that you would like to keep your life. And we do have information we would need. And again, have you seen this red gem of sorts? Would it be on him or any of special quality, I should say?
Look over. I'll tell you, but do I get to keep my life?
Why not? We've killed a few people already. Doesn't seem like we could... It's not too much of a hassle. So, just be helping us.
Make a persuasion check, because he does not believe that at all right now.
Yeah, he's genuine.
I know, but he doesn't believe it.
Persuasion. I'm guessing I wouldn't be able to add guidance.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not, because he didn't do it beforehand.
Okay.
4. He just says, I hint I can understand the sarcastic nature, but since you don't intend for it, I guess I will be dying with my secrets then. Well, he kind of looks up towards the sky. Erebos, please, I embrace thee. May I meet a quick death? And he kind of looks over and smiles towards Aaron.
I mean, I generally wasn't. And he looks up at Aaron. Like, it is of use.
Wick is not in my nature. I'm a patient man. Despite my appearance, I'm as old, if not older, than our friend here. I can sit here all day with you.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Persuasion. Damn. Well, I guess that's okay.
Persuasion, intimidation, your choice. I'll give you either.
Ah, thank you. Over here.
Nearly won. 26. I'll look over towards you and they'll begin to say, look and understand the seriousness and look towards no.
He kind of just shrugs his shoulders, like, I don't know. I give you an honest answer, which is strange for the expanse and everything around us.
Alright, fine, fair enough. I will show you what I know about and such, but and now the question is, will you let me go? I don't have to go back to Garthanon. I can always come back whenever I need to. Whether you believe that you'll... And if you kill them, I mean, well, unfortunate, but... But will I know that I will be left alive, and you won't... How will I know that you won't just kill me right after you get the information?
I do not deceive. If I say... Go.
We're kind of the most reasonable people in this cavern that you could probably trust. Probably, other than that moth over there. But yes, pretty much.
What have we getting to gain?
Information.
What have we had to get to gain from your demise? We have... There is nothing that you have to offer us in death. I do not act without reason. I do not kill without reason, even if the prey is insect.
I'll look over. Fair enough. The red crystal, looking over towards Nell. It's not just one, it's not 3, it's not 8, it's plenty. The mine is filled with them. In fact, it's one of the biggest resources and such. You'll find an abundance of what you need there. However, I hope that you do so. I'll get what you need fast. As Garthanon, sometimes referred to as a little bit of a glutton when it comes to that stuff. But more so, the crystals, our fiendish friends, if you will, they have a very unique interest for it. They taint it. They alter it. I doubt it, but have you ever heard of Chardalin?
Would I have?
Where is Nell from? Like in Voden? Like out of the 3 regions.
Recently, the Expanse, but he's kind of been all over. He's kind of had his...
Okay.
He kind of like traveled in between trying to find any of the soulbound groups.
I would also be asking if I know this as well. I'd be from Jaded Valley, but also nomadic, traveling, kind of self-exile around the whole world.
Both of you make history checks with a disadvantage.
Could I add guidance to it?
Yeah, you would be able to.
Okay.
And just hold control while I click it.
Mm-hmm. Dang, nat 20 and a 17. Good stuff, no?
Awesome.
17, not bad. Yeah, you guys will both be able to pick up on Chardalin. So Chardalin it's like mana crystals and stuff like that plague, or more so, are planted across the entirety of Voden. But a Chardalin crystal is more so... It is something... The lore is a little bit different for some of you guys who know the Rime of the Frostbane module. It's a little bit different for Voden and stuff.
That'd be a 31 on my roll.
God damn. God damn!
Yeah, he's built for history. I've just been rolling crap.
So, you'd probably know this sort of part. Aaron, you'd know that they can contain magic, like the mana crystals and all that sort of stuff, but what type of magic, you're not really too sure. You didn't really deal with it too much. But now, you know that they can hold specific types of magic, 1 or 2 types. One being celestial, the other being infernal. Celestial being able to provide good favor, good fortune, all that sort of stuff. Infernal, not so much, but it really, I guess, depends on the person, right? This is a heavy sort of, this is kind of used pretty frequently. I'll only give this to you because you got a 31. This is used pretty frequently by the likes of your sort of troop in the past cycles and all that sort of stuff. As a decent resource, but eventually, well, individuals from Hell decided to travel back over to Voden, and they decided to start trying to take it back by force. It was something you guys had to deal with a long while ago, and you eventually overcame it, but it still was a thing that happened. All right.
Well, I guess better time than nothing. And he kind of starts. He's gonna kind of disarm the archer and get all of his like blades or hidden blades.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's gonna essentially just hands behind the back, tie him up with rope. A bit easier than the automaton, but we want to make sure you're not running off, I guess.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We're giving you this much.
I scoot down the wall and using the innate electricity that I have running through my veins, I'm gonna put my hand on his right shoulder and just blast localized electric shocks to kill the nerve endings in his right arm so that he would never draw a bow again.
Okay.
As you do so, he's gonna make a Constitution saving throw, but we'll see. $19. More so, it does affect him, but he'll still have some sort of martial prowess in some degree. Maybe not with a bow, maybe not with that, but something. If he ever came across something as well in the future.
Well,
As far as he's concerned, hey man, this dude is out of commission until he trains with something else. This dude is messed up.
This way. This is my compromise to save your life. Garthanon will have no more use for you.
He looks over as he's kind of trying to like hold his arm, but fine. Are we done here?
Nell's gonna start looting.
All right. Make a survival check for me, Nell, or investigation, because I know you're an artificer. You probably have intelligence. But look over to here while that's happening. Chet, Bushi, is there anything you two are doing over here? So let me rename them now.
Guidance at all? I'm guessing.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think so. We were just saying goodbye to this individual. They were planning to leave, right? They were actually going to stay and guide us.
Yeah, they're gonna guide you to the temple entrance and such.
Okay. I think Bush will just look over at Chet and be like,
Or not temple entrance.
How do you-
mine entrance?
how do you fare? I think I'm going to need a rest.
Better.
Yeah. It seems well fortified. I'd suggest we at least take a rest off our feet and patch our wounds at the very least.
I definitely saw you take a good few licks.
I'm fine.
You always have been.
All right.
With that, I think I think on this side, Bush will like rummage through their supplies before he takes his rest
Sure
to
thing.
see if there's anything worthwhile here.
Yeah. Make a survival check or investigation check, your choice.
Can Chet make the same check?
Yeah, you can.
He said survival or investigation?
Mm-hmm. This is for looting and all that stuff. Oh man, what happened here?
Nice.
A 1 and an 8. Oh my gosh, between Nell, Chet, and Bushi, yeah, you guys are just exhausted. You can't even like you're kind of looking over and looking through the stuff, and it's like, oh man, it's like useless and useless. All right, I just want to get a nap in at the least. But you guys are able to beat some of the DCs. There was some stuff that was a DC 5 at least. So, Bushi, at most what you find is about 5 gold that you can sort of add. What's you? Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. My notes are acting up. Stop it. Where is it? Bandits, move. Okay, for you, what you get? No, an 8.
Yep.
Okay, so you get 8 gold over here. 2 scimitars, and that is it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about all. It's sort of fine. For you, Chet, you also find just a scimitar, but I mean, judging by like the amount of scimitars kind of on the ground, it's not really anything too special though.
All right, I'll hand it off to Fang.
And then there's Aaron, who just blows us out of the water.
Gotcha. All right, let's do that. So, so you hand this to Fang, and they'll graciously take it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will appreciate this. Then Aaron, with your 19 though, kind of looking around and such, you find a couple things. You find a little bit more gold, about 16 more gold. You find more scimitars. Take your pick if you really want any. They're not magical or special. You find a light crossbow. And the last thing that you find is a set of studded leather armor. Which is, I believe, definitely an upgrade from your armor.
It doesn't beat mage armor.
That is true. That is true.
Yep.
I think Nell only has basic.
I'm gonna pick up
And
the.
also the other thing was
No,
to beat
he
that
already
DC.
has
Whoops. Also, here's what I need you to do. Aaron, I need you to roll a D100, and Bushi, I do need you to roll a 1D100 as well. Alright, let's see what you guys got. 11. Alright, cool. I almost forgot. Ooh, that is really, really good. Alright. Let's see what you guys get. Give me 3 seconds. I gotta pull up the table. I always gotta download the PDF. Okay, so with an 11. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to look it up and find out. If I can't figure it out, then I will have you pick something else. But I think I got it here. And then for Bushi, what you get is not bad. All right. So Bushi, you don't know exactly what this is, but you do find a peculiar looking stone of the sorts, and it has some sort of engraving on or into it. Looking at it, definitely you can gives off magical vibes as well. For the likes of you, Aaron, you look to see what seems to be the likes of a feather of the sorts. Roll a D100 to see what kind. Alright.
Also going to be inspecting this witch's, this mage's staff.
So, wait, hold on, let me make sure I understand. So it seems to be kind of like a bird-like, or actually, excuse me, not a bird-like feather. It seems to be more of a feather that's been tainted by magic, but judging by it, it seems more of druidic magic rather than anything.
Druidic?
Druidic magic.
Druidic. Can I Arcana check it?
It would be over a short rest. So if you guys wanted, if you wanted to like identify the stuff over your short rest, that's more than fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Bushi will toss the other one to Chet and say, "You know what this is?
The
The stone." Yeah.
I could try and figure it out.
All right. So if that's the case, so over the course of your short rest, I'm gonna give you guys what the item is in the meantime, and while this sort of happening, let me know what you guys are sort of saying or doing during it. But the stone itself is an Ioun stone, specifically an Ioun stone of sustenance. Now, sustenance basically means you don't need to eat or drink while this clear spindle orbits your head, and such, and you can attune to it, and you never have to worry about really starving or more so being or dehydrating in the likes of the Expanse. Now,
Perfect
if
for
you
a
didn't
nomad.
necessarily want it, you can always use it and sell it, because that is a very, very good thing in a desert. You know, people will probably pay top dollar for that. Now, for the other thing, the feather, this is what's known as a feather token, and specifically, it is of the tree. So, this tree must be used outdoors, or it must be used outdoors to use this token. Use an action, and you touch an unoccupied space on the ground. The token disappears, and in its place is a non-magical oak tree that springs into existence immediately. The tree is 60 feet tall and has a 6-foot diameter trunk, and its branches are at the top spread out in a 20-foot radius. You literally summon a tree immediately, like it's Minecraft.
That's I know that item, and it is fun.
Alright, so I'm gonna drop that in the chat, and you guys can decide who gets what and all that.
How are short rests gonna work, man?
I'd probably ask everybody to meet up on the opposite side of the bridge where we're heading towards.
So, while you guys are sort of there for the hour, is there anything you guys are kind of doing, either off to yourself? Is there anything you're talking about throughout it? Because again, it's 45 minutes. Or nope, nothing, just ready to keep it on.
I'm gonna be seeing what's going on with this mage's staff.
Gotcha. Looking at the mage's staff, you see as the snake looks over towards you and it just tries to reach over and bite you. You're able to sort of dodge off or out to the side, but yeah, this staff is it's definitely a strange one. You can go over at it because it is during your short rest. You would know this to be the likes of the staff of the Python. It is a very, very powerful magic item, typically used by the likes of mages. You know that this staff, it could probably be able to summon forth that snake as a bigger one that will aid you in battle if you were to attune to it.
Alrighty, yeah, I am pocketing this thing.
Kind of hard to pocket it because it's a giant staff, but I'm messing with you. But
I
yeah.
can, I've got a bag of holding. I can just toss them in.
So, I'm adding the last sort of thing that you got is a staff with Python and the
An attunement needs to happen over like a long rest or
short rest.
Short rest.
Yeah, I will definitely be using this thing. Unless, of course, the spoils go to the victor. Chet is the one who downed her.
I'm fine. Assuming we get the Iron Stone.
So, if that's the case, who's getting what item? More so I can just add it to their character sheet.
I'm taking the staff and feather.
Everybody
If
cool?
Chet shared what the stone is, if Chet shared what the stone is, I think Bushy will take it. But if he like downplayed it or something, I don't think Bushy would know that it was useful. So
I can ritual cast the identify spell. Just to...
Oh no, you already know what it is because you identified it over the short rest and stuff.
Okay.
Chet would probably be honest about what it is and probably offer to share it with Bushy.
okay.
All right.
The Brotherhood of the Traveling Stone.
They've traveled well together, so it's not really like you wouldn't have any issue with that.
All right, so I will add that to your character sheet, and then the other two items go. The other two items go into Aaron. Everybody good with how magic items are being dispersed?
If he wants to give up the feather, I'll take that. Unless you want to have the pick of those two.
Approach him in character and see what he says.
Yeah. What do you say, no?
Both of those are very interesting items, both very useful.
They are, aren't
Do you wish to use both of them?
Not sure what I would do with a random tree, although my imagination cannot cease.
And so does a giant snake. So,
I suppose I'm not much for the land of the giants. Are you trying to ask me something, old friend? Come out and say it.
hey, if you want to share, share. But it's up to you. Completely up to you. I've got enough trinkets in my bag.
Well, hold this feather for me, old friend.
Very well. I'll use it at an opportune time. And who knows, it may bring some life to a desert.
Maybe
Alright.
we grow it over Garthanon's grave.
Maybe an interesting idea.
A way to give back all the greed he has taken.
Sounds like fun.
See, at this point, eventually, as you guys are taking your short rest, now let me explain how you guys do that. Double click on your character sheets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for some reason, some of your sheets aren't the tidy sheets. Let me fix that for you. Chet, yours is like that. Bushi's, yours is fine. Let me check Aaron's. Aaron's is fine. No, yours is fine. Okay. So if you go to the, if you open up your character sheets and you go to the top left where your character little profile thing is, head over towards the little bed looking icon and hover over it. You're going to want to hit the first one to the right. So it's going, if you hover over it, it'll say short rest. Click that and then it'll tell you everything that you need to know. Alright, let me fix barred bot in the meantime. And once you guys are ready to go with that, then we'll continue on. I gotta go grab this guy once more. Alright, bam, bam. Alright, there we go.
If anybody needs, I can cast Cure Wounds.
There we go. Okay, let's go. So, once you guys are ready, you guys can move your tokens all the way to the right, where Fang is and the archer is, and that'll let me know that you guys are good.
How much time has it been as far as mage armor goes?
An hour. You got 7 more. You're good.
Cool.
Everybody, be ready for what we might see. We're going through a secret entrance, but security's going to be tighter. That one escaped.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, let us continue then. You'll see as Fang will begin to step forward. They're going to lead the way. As they sort of do so, you guys continue on for a little bit. And eventually, you can see as similar to the beginning of the cave and more, you see that little strange bit of illumination from up above, but the further and further you go in, it seems to be the more that the light disperses. Eventually, you find yourself what seems to be in a more, how you say, ornate area than you necessarily intended. What you find is this place. It seems to be almost in a curving corridor, heading off to the side, and off to your left and right, you do see these torches that are kind of lit up and more guiding your sight and path. I'm gonna switch maps in 3, 2, 1. All right, that should be good. All right, you guys should be loading in now. I'm waiting for someone to make that joke on YouTube.
Yeah, secret tunnel.
I see why. You guys, you guys don't see anything. Let me.
Yeah, I've got light.
Wait, some of you guys see stuff?
Yep.
Can see.
Yep.
Oh, really? Okay,
See.
hold on. Stop right there. Stop right there. Let me fix this.
I have dynamic. dynamic
At
light on.
least-
Hold on, let me swap over to here, and then let me swap back over to here. There we go. There we go. Cool. All right, so you guys are free to explore as you wish, but you'll see as Fang is kind of are walking over, and as they do, I know of this way, but I've never necessarily gone through it. I mainly have taken the normal way, which is a pain in of itself, but here we are. I'll look over, and they'll kind of walking by all the sort of torches and more. Look over towards the doors and such, and as they do, begin to speak and say, well, deal's a deal. This seems to be the likes of, well, your path and such. Yeah. I'll see as he walks over from the door, and as he kind of does so, kind of opens and tries to open again. The hell?
I'm having a foundry issue. Just have me along with Chet, probably.
Gotcha.
Need the swordsman as well.
Gotcha. I can move you over here. And yeah, the archer's following and all that stuff. If for whatever reason an NPC isn't like is chilling all the way in the back, they're probably following. More so, I haven't gotten to move them yet. But regardless, you'll see as Fang is kind of like trying to open the door. It seems to be locked and blocked. What is this? Looks around. I'm sure there's a way to open this place. Look around. And he's gonna try to take out some thieves' tools and see if he can start trying to pick this lock and see if he can break it or something. But
Me and the director are gonna move over to this.
Did we ever end up asking Fang why he was special to them, or who he was supposed to lead them to, or something like that?
nah. More so they just captured him as far as just because. Not really any sort of not really for any more reason than that, but you can inquire more because there's a little bit more to it.
While he's messing with all that, I'll walk up. So Fang,
Yes.
old snake lady made it seem like you were a little bit more valuable than a common capture. So much as to say you were not for sale, and we need him. What do they need you for?
My people, we are known for our knowledge and such. You know the Starry Ones, right?
Of course.
Those individuals, well, I guess this might be a surprise to you, but essentially every time they, I don't know, grow bored or whatever, eventually they take over all of Voden. They destroy and taint everything. The entire lands, all of it, gone. You're not surprised by this, you know this.
Yeah, you don't say.
Yes, they find me valuable because they refer to this as cycles and such. I'm valuable because I was here since the beginning. And they think that whatever knowledge that I can give, it will serve them of the sorts as something they can sell to the council.
Since the beginning, how many cycles have you seen exactly?
Start counting as they kind of hold the legs of the tools. 1, 2, 3, technically 4. But I guess this is the 5th, right? Yeah, this is the 5th. So, yeah, 5.
What was the primary city's name at the beginning in the first one?
Hold on. Okay, before I might have to DM you that one. Let's see. But are you talking about like the very, very first city of Voden?
The one that would have been the spearhead of the technological build up to fight.
Gotcha. If you want to just like quote unquote, I ask him that, that's fine. and all that sort of thing. But I would have to DM you that.
Yes, I would say. So you know of the great city, yada yada.
Blah blah blah. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler! Don't you dare, Sammy. I know you're taking notes over here. Like, God damn it, Sensei! Ah!
Yeah,
no.
we can leave that. We can leave it ambiguous. I just want to let him know that. I just want to name drop something that nobody in this time should know.
Look over and say, how do you know that? Are you from there? What?
I am not an average person. I am, and I switch, and Arxus speaks up.
An omen.
I've just lived that long.
And
They'll
you
look
know
over and around. Wait. But the rest of you, are you from this time?
Only the known. Old friends, war buddies, if you will. He assisted the first warriors. I stop, and I just trail off, and leave that conversation, or that part of the sentence gone.
Look over and just say, I see. Well, they always said, right? Knowledge is power, but knowledge is also dangerous. Some things are best probably left in the past, though. That time for me is past. Long ago. And with that, you see as they begin to look over and say, I think I figured it out. Are you all ready? And such.
I'm gonna yell over to the archer.
Well,
Is everything good over here?
Yes. We've just more in common with him than we might have suspected. I'm glad to have saved you. Being ancient as we are, would have been a shame for your journey to end in such a anticlimactic manner.
Look over, and Fang will say, well, don't get too excited yet. I know I'm ready, but I know how to get in here. And it's not going to be with these stupid things, and kind of puts up the likes of the thieves' tools. Funny enough, you started with the riddle today, I guess. I assume she did that whole thing, right? Kind of looking over for you for confirmation.
The song and dance, yes.
Well, guess what? You're ending in a riddle. And they'll look over and they'll kind of begin to start uncovering such. And if anybody sort of reads or understands the likes of Infernal, you'd be able to read it yourself and be able to kind of reference it. But Fang will kind of look over and read. I think she taught me this. Apparently, it's a saying. Hold on, where is it? Oh my goodness. Oh. I flow from the afterlife. I see you throughout your pitiful lives, and I await you in glorious death. However, throughout that time, I do not seek your patronage, I do not seek for followers. For at the end of the day, all of you will serve me in one way. And as this is said, Fang will look over and speak and say, damn it, another one of these riddles. I don't think it's referring to the likes of a devil besides being an infernal. Might be something else. That's who knows.
Oh, can you drop that in the content?
Yeah, I gotcha. But while this is sort of said, we'll look over. We're going to need to spend a little bit of time probably looking around this whole room. So maybe we can find some clues or whatever. I'm sure something here. But I'm going to brainstorm and figure out something. You'll see as the other individual will look over and they'll begin to speak and say, good luck with that, but I think I'll just sit around here for the time being. And as he begins to do so, he'll kind of plop himself down over here and he'll wait. But whether you guys will have to or be able to figure out the legs of this riddle, oh, you won't have a couple minutes. You'll have an entire week to figure it out. As that is where we'll have to end today's session. As anything past this point is gonna be a big thing. So we're gonna have to call it right here because, especially because you guys were able to take the secret route rather than the other route. That whole other sort of thing is completely irrelevant. So now we got to get to this sort of whole thing. So as you guys are walking through the back entrance of this sort of mines, so we're gonna end it here and we're gonna pick back up next time. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
All right. If you guys want to know what the whole other place was that you probably would have to sort of finagle your way into, it was roughly this place. Oh man, this is a whole sort of thing and all that. It's very much out of the kind of out of the way to like someone who doesn't know context to it, but those who like kind of know how to get through and maneuver this place, it's not so bad. Let me reveal this little thing: configure, grid, lighten, token vision, all that stuff. I don't know why only Aaron and Bushi are here, but it's fine. But activate. It was this thing. So this was the other path and all that stuff. This is the optional path that you guys got.
Oh man.
This whole sort of thing. You would have been friggin' in here for hours.
Damn.
Good. So all good.
Almost feels bad. So that there's some nice riches in there.
Well, that means you're gonna be able to get more riches as you're gonna be able to stop Garthanon a little bit earlier. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna go break down stream. I'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. All right, let me pause this and all that sort of stuff. All right, y'all, thank you guys for watching and more. You guys are fantastic and such. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Now, this is the end of the likes of the Soul Saga series for the likes of session 2. We're gonna be back again next week as we're picking back up with the likes of Jaded Jungles at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday. You guys are a great audience, and I'm going to thank actually a couple of you guys for those of you who decided to drop a couple of memberships and more. Also, special shout out to Dragon Slayer for subbing over on Twitch. Special shout out to the likes of Tales of Initiative for raiding. Special shout out to Oblivious Nerd for the raid. Runny, thank you for the likes of the Twitch Prime sub and more. Over on the YouTube side of things, let's go head over towards them. And Fernando, thank you for becoming an Auroran spirit. Appreciate you. Mountain Beast, thank you for becoming an Auroran god. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're freaking awesome. Special shout outs to you guys. Special shout outs. All right, y'all. I'm going to be seeing you guys hopefully in the Discord. Be sure to get your applications in if you want to be a player. Dungeon Master applications and Lore Keeper applications are going to be closing on the 8th. Now, Lore Keeper applications, there are not that many people who are applying, so if you really want to be a part of Project Aurora, you might want to decide to check out the Lore Keeper sort of stuff over there. All right, y'all. I'm going to see if I can raid into somebody over on Twitch, YouTube stream.